Not a great start, all things considered, specifically from Hook. He's only been in 3 engagements, for God's sake. And with that, they will look to play the lines, as that will be what decides who gets defense for round number 5. LAG, solid off the rip inside a boat, but really outside of that one engagement, Jay, that they had toward the beach side, never got anything going after that.
Yeah, Boston, they just had the beautiful setup right there to close out that defensive round. Once they have full control of ring, they have full control of their back spawn. You're all the way pushed out towards their spawn, allowing all of the opposite team to spoil out towards Cliff to make them overextend through that ship side. That's exactly how you want to set up. And it almost got scary there as LAG were able to break in, but TJ was able to clutch up. So now, going into the offensive round, Methods is going to be on a 5 spree, potentially some kill streaks to work with, but you see the all-out pressure coming in towards that 8 point.
And I'm not, I'm not crazy, right, Jay? That doesn't say 7 and 2 from Hook. That says 1 and 2, right?
Yeah, it says 1 and 2. The guy is playing really
I just had
slow.
to make sure. I had to double check.
Yeah.
Ace and Falls, nice shots coming in from TJ, but as we said, looking at Hook to get involved maybe a little bit more in the engagements. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't looking specifically at his number on the mini-map throughout a majority of it, but just still, only a few engagements through that first round as LAG will instantly have to change that up, especially coming in toward the bottom side of the boat. Breach with some solid progression off the start, but it's Asim already recognizing what could be a fold in the setup. Nice too, coming in toward the cliff side as the only straggler will be player number 7. TJ drops, and with that, Boston potentially thinking about making a play for B. Well, Hook's gonna be there, but he falls off the rip, and now the pressure instantly focused toward a few of the farthest players up right now for LAG. We've got Asim in a big spot. We've also got Slasher as he gets taken down. It'll be a 1v1 over at that B point, and it's Nero that's able to grab it.
That's a huge win from Nero, because now this at least stops the clock for the time being. It should allow your teammates to eventually open up with a couple kills on that 8 point. As you see, TJ finds the first, finds a second. But now if your Methods, this is when you invest these streaks. You can potentially do a good chunk of time, do a good chunk of work on this B point, as 2 ticks of projection are going to come in for both points. They still have control of B. They still have a 3 live advantage as well. This can get scary for LAG if they don't stop the bleeding.
Oh, Nero's got to be careful. Sitting on that 4 spree. Slasher doing everything he can to try to apply the utility toward the top. Somebody from Gorillas has to get in here and stop the time from ticking away. And it looks like they will at just the right time. They will jump in and deny the full capture. You're still somewhat okay with it if you're the Breach, as long as you'll be able to capture the point over at A, but a big return out of the Gorillas. They hop on in due to that contesting time and now apply the pressure toward the Breach end once more. Asim gets picked apart over at P1 as the Breach look to stack the point over at A. They'll be able to grab it. It's like we said, while they were only just mere seconds away from capturing the point over at B, they've still got a lot of work done off the rip, and they've got 1 minute and 18 seconds left to do it.
So the exact same setup that we saw Boston have on their defensive side is exactly what LAG is starting to do. As one player in TJ,
don't judge me,
trying to sneak his way through the back. Asim not gonna be able to spot him, so he's just gonna be able to work his way through. Actually, Asim does spot him, takes him down, so that's gonna be a clean 3 dead in the feed as Methods gets taken down as well. 55 seconds left. LAG up by 3 lives.
We'll see what Breach look to do off the attack. Again, you have some great players set up in power positions right now for your LAG, specifically Slasher. Over toward the beach is hope to try to get some sort of a trade, but no, it's Methods who tosses the nade on over. Meanwhile, Asim and Co are trying to clear out the boat side. And with 30 seconds left, Breach only sitting on 1 life apiece for everybody. As we say goodnight to TJ, there goes Nero as well, up to Capsule and Methods. Is Cap's at least able to take 1, but a 2v6, 15 seconds. Cap, can he make the play? He was great in the search and destroy, but unfortunately, it's respawn time. Methods, last player up. It'll look to play his life. LAG, solid, holding things down here on the defense.
And that's great work from LAG. More specifically, getting Methods to invest that glide bomb was huge, because now going into your offensive round, he does not have that in the back pocket to try to take you guys off of that B point. Still does have the strafing run to work with, but just good work out of LAG to close out the defense and get the invested streak out of Methods to tie this game up at 1 apiece. So now if I'm LAG, they were able to win a majority of those gunfights, at least off the initial push on their offense. We saw Asim, he was going huge on the left side towards ring. They won a majority of those trades. they basically set a 2-2 split on both sides. So
Right.
I would like to see them complete this A point early enough to where they could just put a lot of their focus on B, because the way that Boston were able to push out on their defense, you cannot allow that to happen here again if you're LAG.
Yeah, and a very split up setup once more out of the Gorillas. As like you said, they'll send two, at least teasing toward the B side. Well, you got Duke and Gunless over at the ship. As Slasher extends his streak to 5, was really just moments away from earning that strafing run as he gets picked apart. But a minute down, and Asim realizing, hey, guys, we got to get on the point. We need to get something done. While Nero is clearing up things toward the top side of the ship, it's TJ as well, with the automaton firing on his cylinders. As LAG finally, maybe with a moment to breathe, a chance to hop inside of the point. But once more, it's Capsule trying to be a thorn in the side. How about this play? Excellent trigger discipline coming in from the Rook. It's a little bit dicey. Takes down 2, gets some shots into Asim. LAG still with the capture off of the great plays from the Rook.
No, that was trigger discipline at its finest. You usually don't see that out of such a young player in Capsule who tries to make the play happen, but eventually LAG, they were able to pick up a majority of those kills, and Asim on a 7 spree, able to pick up some kill streaks of his own. As the second tick of progression is going to come in towards the save point, you see all-out attack starting to come in towards B as well. They're basically putting breach to spawn out towards back red tower, to spawn out towards back green, as they are putting pressure on both of these points. And just keep in mind, Asim can help his teammates after that B point, but up 7 lives, 35 seconds. Just want to close out this A, play your lives count, and then use those streaks if you really need to.
Nice plays coming in from Cap. So that's really just bad timing, if you will, for both sides. Slasher gets taken down, which Asim was hoping that he'd be there. Meanwhile, it's a teammate on the Capsule from the breach in, and Asim not just investing 1, he's gonna go and call in his second streak as well.
That's 3 dead.
As you said, 3 down, an opportunity for LAG as Gunless applying the pressure inside of the spawns. Breach instantly met with some interesting fire off the rip. They've got to get something done. LAG continuing to be problems as Asim's inside of the base. It is 11 in a row for Asim. Finally gets cut down, but the pressure out of the Boston side has got to be heartbreaking. 19-4 right now in lives. LAG, obviously you're thinking about trying to capture the B point, but your primary focus has to be on the sliver of lives that exist on the other end, as it's all going to be up to Cap and Methods. As one more left, big Cap.
I'm sorry, who burped earlier? What you mean?
9 and 23.
Yeah, because I
first 3 rounds,
the burping
and it's
king.
LAG now with the advantage.
That was dominant from start to finish from LAG. Like I said, the 2-2 split, it usually doesn't work out. But when you're winning a majority of those gunfights, at least early into the round, it definitely would go in your favor. As they were able to take that A point, Asim works that kill streak, and at the same time, 2 of his teammates are already pushing out towards that B point. So they were just putting on a lot of pressure to both of the points, allowing only Boston to spawn out towards back red tower, makes them in the back of the mind like, hey, we got to make sure we commit to stopping this B push. And then eventually they started split pushing, which eventually costed them. But what a dominant round out of LAG to go up 2-1 now.
I think I'm learning something, Jay. Asim, not a fan of search destroy, but control, this is this guy's playing.
This is his mode. This is his mode so
exactly
far.
Right. 26 and 18, not prone to having the AR in his hands, but boy, does he make it look quite good. 27 and 19. Also, like we said, a slower search destroy performance. He basically did the exact same thing at the kickoff classic, but LAG, as we said, now in the driver's seat for this particular map. As Boston Breach look to send us to a round 5. It's Cap, Methods, who are really doing the dirty work already toward the boat, and they'll look to force the issue inside of green. Meanwhile, it's Nero capping the objective.
So you see there's a huge gunfight going in towards ring right now, as Asim is going to be able to take down Capsule at green. You see LG, they're basically chalking A. They're not going to even attack that. They're not going to allow for any Boston players to potentially pick up some kill streaks, because that can lead them back into this one. As they take control of ring, second ticket progression does come in from Boston, as time is going to get extended by a minute 52, up by 4 lives to break the speed point.
Yeah, and as you said, Jay, I mean, almost looked like a hard point rotation for LAG. It looked like we were going from P5 to P1, but like I said, LAG just not wanting to allow for anybody to push up toward the beach side. They know that, hey, that boat's not going to go their way, but let's at least clear out this player toward P1. We could even start to make spawns somewhat dicey. By the way, here comes some streaks. Fortunately, not going to do much, and at least gain some information, but at the very least, minute and 30 still left up on the clock. Boston, with the overall man advantage considering how we know this point can be, how difficult it can be to cap. You expect for LAG to at least even those out somewhat. Capsule, as we said, not a great game, but maybe his chance to pick things up. 14 and 24, looking to be a thorn at the backside of LAG. Another opportunity, as that's going to now make it 3 in a row. Has some works for Slasher, as that's now going to be 4. Big Cap. He loves to make these plays. He loves to be a problem in the back, and so far, he is causing LAG all kinds of headaches.
And you can never count the young man out. We saw him bounce back from an insane series versus New York. Even though he's not having a great start to this game, he's trying to close it out with a bang before he does eventually get taken out. LAG with 40 seconds are able to control the map, control top ring, and now this is going to force all of Boston to basically commit towards breaking in towards the ring side. And with 35 seconds left, they're only going to have like one push left to try to get into this.
As long as Gunless remains in this position, does give himself away. I was going to say that could be a great opportunity there for Gorillas, but great call, Jay. That's going to be 3. Now make it 4 down. Boston Breach, they begin to focus into the point and take a look at the top side of your screen. Look how fast that's being captured. It's because of the stack of all the players. Nero, unfortunately, does get sacrificed as Hook decides to invest the streak. We'll find out if it was worth it or not, as Hook firing away, having to do everything he can. A few of his players, a few of his teammates rather, coming in from P1. The collapse is in, and they will successfully hold them off for the time. Boston Breach, they've got to get onto the point. 17 seconds, and they've got to invest something. They've got to try and find the early pick. LAG once more trying to stay alive. Asim, he gets picked apart. Meanwhile, it's Slasher doing the work from the back end. Another engagement as Cap decides to seize on forward. Says goodnight to who? Cap making the plays. Gunless, he's hanging out inside of the tank, but it's the rookies. It's the rookies going big. It's a 9v1. Asim doing everything he can to try and hold this one off, but you have to imagine it will be the Breach sending us to a round 5.
And that was such an insane round. I thought once LAG were able to break in at the nick of time to at least stop the initial push from Boston trying to complete that was going to be the game. But Capsule, like I said, the young man is here to play. He's here to stay. He was able to work his way through the little map, finds 2 kills, which eventually allows his other 2 teammates to pick up the other 2. Once they get that 4 down, nice and easy, they just stack that point. They get it going up so fast. They set up a nice crossfire to force us to go to this round number 5. And now Boston on the offense.
Both of these teams were in a very similar spot at kickoff. It was LAG who won the round 5. Granted, it was on Gavutu, but they were able to take it. Boston Breach on this very map versus New York, not able to secure the round 5. So something to think about when we talk about experience versus some rookies. Boston being on the non-favored side here to start things off in OT. Starting things off on attack as they did get close to that first tick. Meanwhile, Hook's trying to make some noise happen in the back of the base. He gets picked apart. But for Breach, you do have to ask yourself that question. How are they going to perform in the big moments versus a veteran team like this? As they look to try and reestablish some control now toward the boat.
And this time around, LAG said, nuh-uh, we're not going to give up A so easy. They cannot allow them to have 2 minutes to try to commit towards that B point. You see Gunless still trying to contest. The first tick of progression does come in for the Breach. Not able to win that gunfight onto Capsule, so now this is going to allow for all of Boston to eventually stack this point, get that second tick progression, and then extend this time by a minute. As Capsule is still picking up kills left and right on a 3-3 from top boat. You have to take this guy down before he picks up some streaks, as Slasher does so. But with 40 seconds left, LAG still putting on pressure towards his A point, not trying to allow Boston to capture it.
Yeah, just making it that much more difficult, right, for the Breach. Oftentimes you like the attacking team's chances of capturing this A objective, but at least they can work for it. LAG fully embracing that.
Yo, what's up, Chance?
Method's finally able to hop on the capture, but really
right now I have a bet that Boston Breach wins, and then I have it parlayed with
he's still up here, and Methods can't seem to find him. He cannot seem to find Hook right now, but Capsule's able to take
parlayed
him down.
with the subliners
well.
plus 1.5.
Away. The capture is nearly successful.
Right now,
and we'll have another
they're tied.
Added to
Boston
the clock,
and
unless Hook can get in here at the right time.
But
don't tell me this is going to happen again. LAG
Boston
nearly
wins this,
once more
and
stopping
they win the next
Breach.
map, then I'm good to
moments
go.
away from a capture. Boston are able to do it, but all things considered, only a
yeah,
minute on the clock and not a lot of lives right now, Jay.
And this is where it gets scary because now Boston, they took control of ring.
Oh, hey, what's up, dude? I was like, I knew you were like, I was like, wait a minute, somebody changed their
they
name.
get on this point. Don't know if they have any kill streaks in
Oh,
their
you all
back line
done with
they're trying to
homework?
work with, but the first tick of progression is going to come in. You see Asim trying to contest Capsule, but at least stay alive.
You want to take a break?
For teammates to watch over him.
I feel you.
He sees the shadow.
He sees him.
He knows he's right here. Goes for the challenge, and Big Cap, he's able to take it. He's been here for so long.
What's going on, King?
LAG,
Let's see you in the chat, though,
they're actually getting picked apart off of their spawns. Breach, are they going to be able to do this? Final few players are going to be sitting inside of green. Gunless toward the beach side. TJ pulls out the pistol, but he gets dropped. A 3 versus 8. And Breach get a moment to try and reposition. Another big kill coming through from Cap, as it's all on to Hook and Gunless. A 2 versus 8. 45 seconds, one more tick to go, but Hook doing everything he can to try to hold the line the best way possible, but it's the Boston Breach coming up clutch in round number 5. They showed us they could do this at the Kickoff Classic, and now they're doing it here at opening weekend. My goodness, what a performance, what a comeback out of Methods in the group.
And you usually do not see that. You do not see a team go out and win a Gavutu control by winning 2 offenses. You gotta tip it to Boston, man, especially Capsule, because he didn't have a hard start to that game. I'm pretty sure he ended like 30 and 32. The guy started turning up to a whole different level, picking up
I got a haircut
right. But the fact
week,
that they were able to get into that final point in the previous offense, we thought that LAG,
right before
once
I started my new
in,
job,
it was gonna be over. But Boston, they knew exactly how they wanted to execute the game plan. You have to attack the middle of the map. You have to make sure that you're consistently going through green. And once you have control of top green, you're basically setting up for that spawn trap.
Now we just need one more map for Boston. We're good to go on that bet.
And right there, Boston, they were just able to set up beautifully to close it out and walk away with that map. Now up 2-1 in the series. Wow, that was insane.
That was wild. Like, that was wild. We can throw all our stats out the window, if you will. We're talking about how attack, not great KD wise. Teams really struggling here on the
TV should be joining us soon, too.
Screw the playbook. We're just gonna go and full send it. What a play!
Hey, I appreciate you, man.
Excellent.
We gotta look good for our boys.
Out of Capsule throughout this, you're gonna see his score. Like I said, he's starting off 8 and 21.
Yes,
triple negative. Not a great performance. And then not only picking up the pace, going on sprees, earning streaks, but Jay, his play in that round 5 to stay alive toward the tank. Incredible plays out of the rookie. Not just Cap, but Nero having a solid map as well. Wonderful, wonderful work there out of the Breach to come up clutch again. And Jay, they get the revenge. They get the revenge on Gavutu Control. We thought they were going to win it versus New York, but hey, it's just a few weeks later. They get the job done versus another veteran-like team here at the Gorillas.
Yeah, and just to look at these highlights a little bit, in that previous clip, you saw that LAG, they were able to get all 4 down. There was only one player from the Boston side that was a close enough player towards that top ring. And with only 20 seconds left, somehow, some way, Boston were able to clutch up on the offense. Even though LAG, they were set up for success to close it out there, man. It shows that these young players are never going to give up. They're always going to fight until the game has ended to the very end, as they were able to clutch up towards the very end and walk away with that control. Now to take the series up 2-1, going into another hard point, which is going to be Berlin. We know the struggles for LAG. We saw them at kickoff. They were not able to have good setups or good holds in general on this map. And we saw what Capsule was able to do, Lando. Beautiful call coming out of you. The guy's a walking highlight reel, so this is going to be insane between both of these teams.
Oh my goodness, man. Like you said, we know what Big Cap can do. And speaking of the man himself, so far throughout this series, sits at a 1.12 KD. Like you said, Jay, the most impressive thing about Big Cap and really just in general this Boston Breach team was the fact that the way that they were down, the way that Cap wasn't playing, but he was still hitting those routes. He was still making the plays. Unbelievable performance. So like you said, man, hey, I appreciate the love for the call, but it's all based off the plays. It's all based off the talent that good old Kenyon Sutton has got. It's wonderful stuff out of the rookies so far for the Boston Breach as they are coming together series by series. But Jay, we've got to talk about this guy. We talked about it at the start of the day, right? The analyst desk, Nameless, Ali, Miles, and Chance, they were all talking about this guy in Hook. We talked about, has LAG really built themselves around him so far at an even KD? Are you looking at him specifically for LAG or somebody else to go big in this upcoming Berlin?
No, I'm 100% looking at Hoop because this is a guy who can go out
What,
there and win you
say
games. Right now in this series, he's sitting at a 1.0 KD. He has to match the energy or the pacing of Capsule and Nero, because right now they're just putting the aggression on him. We saw it in the Search and Destroy. We even saw it in that Control. And now that you're down 2-1 in this series, you go into a map like Berlin, which is going to be a little bit bigger. You have to make sure your rotations are on point, but you have to make sure that your SMGs are putting themselves in the proper positions when it comes to just slaying around in the middle towards P2, running around towards middle broken, or just being a nuisance on the map. You need to make sure that you're putting yourself in the right position and winning those gunfights, because a guy like Hoop, he's sitting at a 1.0 KD in this series. You need him to turn up.
Yeah, my bad.
Game 5.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Jay, but I feel like if you are the Gorillas, right at this stage, I feel like
you
if
hear
you
this,
are,
man?
you know, if you're Slasher, you're going to like, you know what, Hoop?
Yes.
Go and slay. Like, look, go and slay.
Okay.
We're going to focus on the rotations because that has been a big problem for them. Shout out to our stats guy, Carson. He laid it out for us. LAG, not great off of holding rotations, not great off of making plays early. And Jay specifically, and that hard part that we saw them play, LAG
I need
versus
Boston to
Florida,
win here so that
the
there's
second
no
set of
fuck-ups in
rotations,
map
they
5.
lost P2, P3, and P4 all in a chain despite holding spawns. They will have to make the proper adjustments versus a very hot, current-looking Boston Breach team. And we'll see if Capsule can provide us with another lovely spree as we're into the mix already at P1.
And you see LAG, they are going to get those top flat spawns, so that's going to give them the initial time in towards this P1 hard point. But Boston are doing such a great job of just keeping the pressure on, as Capsule was able to find 2, Methods with the 3rd, as they break in towards this hard point. But with 20 seconds left, you think a big picture, and that's exactly what Hook is doing. He's starting to think about that rotation. He's going to have a huge one-on-one versus Methods. He's actually going to drop. So even though a majority of the time is going to go in favor of the Breach, they should be able to break towards at least 30 seconds. Spawns are going to be there for LAG off the rotation.
And you notice Methods, as soon as he spawns up toward the track side, his arrow instantly focused right where the Gorillas players are at, just primarily aware of the way that those spawns are going to work. So as you said, my friend, Breach, shockingly, a really good start over at P1 despite not having the preferred spawns, but they do allow for LAG to make that push up toward the street, and now they sit in a good position over at Library. But here comes the break, and TJ runs right on in. A story himself to try and tell. And just like that, not only does he find the kills, but his good old buddy Methods able to shut down Hook. They run right inside of the hill, and they claim it for themselves. Still, a valuable 30 seconds left as Methods pulls out the SMG and tries to do some damage himself. LAG a good reply, but Boston still with the seconds.
And that's where LAG need to show improvement. Right there, they were early off the rotation to that P2. They get the first 14 seconds uncontested, but as soon as that
Boston's
first gunfight goes
so
down,
far.
all 4 of them drop. Now this allows for Boston to eventually set up properly, get a good chunk of time off of that P2, and now you have to start thinking about the rotation. So now if you're LAG, it just comes down to getting a good hold, getting a proper setup to win these gunfights. But as you see that in the kill feed, 2 players are going to die off the rotation. The pitch is going to be here in Boston in a 3v1. Should be able to win these gunfights, with Spawn still coming in from LAG.
Yeah, a good start already for Breach, but we know, Jay, we know how sticky that spawn can be, folks. Top left side of your screen, despite Breach, despite all the progress they're going to make, it's going to be very difficult to stop LAG from spawning in that position continuously. So far in Berlin, this seems to be the money hill, at least a kickoff classic. This is where teams were grabbing a high majority of the seconds. As the Breach, now their second chance, their second opportunity to try to run on in the hill, and it's 3 down once more. Another great hold for the Gorillas as they're closing in on taking the advantage.
And that's going to be a full 60, and now you already see big picture coming in from Hook. This is a guy who's going to do it in the lane department, but you have to make sure you're doing it with the rotations as well. 8-4 on a 3 spree, puts himself in towards the warehouse as LAG are going to be able to take the lead. Capsule trying to watch towards middle broken, but this play is all going to come down to Hook. What kind of information can he give to his team off this rotation?
Another big kill there coming in from Cap. So he shuts down Asim. As you said, Hoop still sitting in toward the warehouse side, trying to hold down spawns and wants to be careful, waiting for his teammates off of spawn. Another great kill, though, comes in from Methods as he continues to ruin, continues to scatter the push out of LAG. Hook, who's been back here for so long, finally gets picked apart, and now Asim, he's got the spotlights primarily set on himself. He decides to jump on in despite his teammates getting taken down. Another great hill where you can gain quite a bit of seconds. LAG have tried to make some noise. The Breach have held ultimately all of the control. As Capsule realizing, hey, you know what? This hill is vacant. Let's go and hop on in and grab the advantage ourselves. Continuous lead changes as Hook now finds himself on the flank. It's an unfortunate nade from Slasher, who tosses it away. quite a scrappy hill here over at Trax.
Yeah, and if you're LAG, you're not too mad about that. Even though you couldn't get any time off that P4 hardpoint, you still did not allow Boston to get a majority of that time either. So it's just good work for both of these teams to at least set up now for that broken hardpoint. Spawns are going to be coming in from breach towards that plat side. As they do find two. You see Metis trying to hold down Trains, but Gunless going to work his way around the side alley, able to take him down. So now this is going to allow for LAG to set up this pinch, but still great work coming in from the young rookies from Nero and Capsule towards the middle of the map.
Yeah, right now, Capsule sitting at 10 and 9. Nero, at least in regards to the score department, not the best, but in terms of his positioning, he has been great, especially off of these rotations. Now for the LAG side, tell you what, my friend, Hook, I mean, he has played well, at least in the first set of rotations. I know we talked about it. You know what? Maybe he shouldn't be going for the rotations. Rather, he should just be sliding. But, Jay, he's doing everything right now.
Oh, my.
15 and 6. Now on a 3 spree is Kyler Garland. Now, not to make it 4 in a row. Hook making some plays and also trying to set his teammates up for the spawns as LAG will have preferred 4P1. Hook finally gets taken down, but the presence, without a doubt, is felt from the breach end.
So now LAG, they are going to be able to win the rotation as Capsule trying to stay alive towards this back alley. He's eventually going to drop, and this can get scary if you're breach. You do not want a solo challenge, go 1 by 1. You need to set up a proper team push here because this can allow LAG to just run away with this hard point. You see pressure still coming in from Train side. Nero's able to win a huge 1-on-1, so now numbers in their advantage.
And Hook, once more, put in a position to succeed. Meanwhile, it's Cap coming in. Actually, Hook ends up losing that fight. Okay, so Hook ends up losing that fight, so that's going to be the break already in from the breach. Once more, looking great at this P1 hill. They were able to break it last time. The biggest emphasis, rather, for breach was the fact that they allowed for LAG to make themselves quite comfortable up toward the top side of your map through the streets. But this time around, it is not at all going to be the case. 10 seconds left at our prior hill, and LAG much slower off of the rotation, specifically Asim. He gets caught out with the pistol in hand, and TJ now in a power position set up toward the docks.
And now this is going to allow Boston to set up properly all this P2, but Slasher does win that gunfight onto TJ towards lower side. Hook finds the second, and Asim finds the third, so now it's all on Capsule to try to play his life. He finds one, he finds the second. Just trying to stay alive, working his way through. Him and TJ are going to be able to take down all 4 players and keep the spawns on the side of the breach. As with 40 seconds left, they can continue to grow this lead.
What's going on, brother?
Great plays for Methods as well. Trying to set up the crossfire. This is looking great right now for Boston. The setup is in, and they look primed to grab all 25 seconds that are going to be left. And the problem for LAG that you're looking at is like, hey, we want to try to challenge, but we also don't want to lose spawns. For next is Cap. Sitting on 5 in a row, he finally gets taken down, but still, breach, a great rotation.
Can you guys hear me pretty well?
And LAG, not this time around, are going to be able to secure those spawns, but they will have the next rotation set up for fire. And we'll see what they can do with it as Asim set up toward the top side. He gets picked apart from Nero. That's going to be 3 off the rip. And they're challenging quite heavily toward where those spawns are going to be coming in from LAG here, Jay.
Yeah, and they take down Gunners toward the backside as well. So now the spawns are going to come in from breach. This is the hard point that LAG were able to get back into the game.
No, you're good. I mean, I just said
full
LA,
60. And so far, they're doing it from holding the hill. They were able to find 3 kills, even though spawns still coming in from breach from the backside. They're still putting a ton of pressure there. Nero's able to find 3, and Boston, with about 35 seconds left, are just going to be able to set up a great hold here to just extend this lead.
And Jay, like I said, this is where it gets worrisome, right? I mean, if LAG cannot break into this hill, this is going to put Boston, rather, at that 200-point mark. A big position already for Gunless as he's able to walk away with that fight, but they have to not just contest, they have to get some seconds, while also thinking about that rotation. Slasher's going to be at new, and you have to at least contest as well as you can, but like we said, that fire hill, it's one of the best here on Berlin. The fact that they're not able to walk away with more seconds than that has to be somewhat worrisome. But LAG off the rotation, now here at Train. We'll see if they can do it this time around. But keep in mind, player number 8 sneaking in toward the back.
Yeah, and that's going to force that number 1 player in Hoop to eventually spawn out. This is going to allow Boston to push right on through the front side. Hoop does fine too, but eventually Boston not able to at least get the spawns for the time being, as LAG are still going to be spawning back there. But with 35 seconds left, it's all about just keeping both of these teams off of the point. TJ on a 6 spree, picks up that straight from 1, potentially working towards a glide bomb. But Hook is going to be able to take him down. Nero and Capsule find 3, as the last player is going to be Asim on the point. 20 seconds left. If you're Boston, you can get a good chunk of this time. You'll be happy with it because it breaks that 200-point mark, only closer towards that finish line.
Mason doing everything he can. He's trying to wait for a few of his teammates off the spawn, but he's got nothing really to do. Pulls out the pistol, and while that's all nice and dandy, again, Jay, it's not adding up to seconds right now for the Gorillas. They're early at fire, not a ton of time. They're early here.
Yeah, what's soft written? Is it my voice or is it the gameplay?
Still down by 40 seconds.
What are you saying, Chief?
Breach trying to hold off ASIM from earning any more onto this streak as Hook and Slash are able to find two through the middle side of the map.
I'd have been like, yeah, you want to pay me like triple overtime?
We'll see what the Gorillas can do here. Now, arguably one of the more scrappier hills in the entire game in the middle side of the map. With Breach spawning where they are, this could be a 196 to 160. Now, a good opportunity here for LAG.
There's not much time that's getting actually like. Okay, there we go. Now LAG is on the actual time.
And now with 30 seconds left, you just want to make
sure
like
a solid like
because they can
like
tie
60
the game
to
up
70
right here. I'm pretty
seconds
sure
or like barely anybody got time.
Off of picking up that glide bomb.
Okay, that's so 6 in a row for fucking. Oh my god, bro. Team kills total, they're at 14, 15 right
And
now.
now if you're LAG, it's going to catch you completely off guard as that player is going to drop on hill.
My god.
180 to 196.
It's about to be a
only being down by 10 points are going to be LAG. They have a couple streaks to work with in their back pocket, but they're not going to be used to at this P1. You had to try to set up a pinch, and this is beautiful plays coming in out of Slasher as he does find two, almost finds the third. 196 to 190. LAG are going to be able to win a majority of these gunfights.
Boston's on the point, but LAG just stormed in and killed them all.
Slasher sets themselves up so nicely. Hook, meanwhile, trying to make some gun engagements happen from the stairs as he's able to take down one onto Methods. We have got
LAG's about to take the lead.
Neck and neck game, but it cannot be
200 to 198.
The plays that Slasher make allow for LAG to get all of this
time. What am I watching right now, dude?
ASIM, now on 9 in a row. He has had some up and down maps, but I tell you what,
make it 10.
With the AR in his hands, he is absolutely frying. Now make it double digits.
There's no way Boston can give up this time.
Inching ever closer toward that 250-second mark.
It'll be a 239 to 198.
If they hold every single second left, Boston, they've got to do something specifically off of that rotation. Gunless continues to hold a big 1v1, and Cap is able to take it, but Slasher is there for the
by the next point, it'll be 237 to 198.
Within about 15 seconds between walking away with this
Boston's
game.
on the next point, but like half of them are still rushing over.
Can they come up clutch again?
We saw them, they were able to do this and force a game 5 versus NYSL. But now this is where the streak is going to get invested from ASIM.
Surprising too, because the audio on my voice is actually pretty high.
So now if your Memphis, you just have
I'm
to
talking
kind of
soft though, at least it sounds like it, just because I don't want to
try to get into this point.
As
ASIM's going to be able to sneak his way through. Still a lot of the kills going in favor of Boston.
239 to 210.
A lot of these pressure coming in from LAG towards that street side. Either team can close it out here, but Boston, they're doing a great job of just keeping them off the point for the time being.
LAG is about to win
those
here.
Streaks, it's going to make their lives that much more difficult now within 5. Cap doing everything he can to try to keep this game afloat for as long as possible. Method's at least able to escape toward the stairs, but as Cap falls, he's at least able to issue a little bit of communication, and with 10 seconds left, look at where the next spawns are going to be.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, LAG's about to win. The next point, LAG's all spawning on it.
Another streak is going to be in their way. It's going to block them from trying to get in toward fire. It's a sandwich. It's a blender, if you will, inside of fire, and LAG will
now the search and destroy though.
Here on Berlin,
when they played the search and destroy, Boston won 6-1.
But the Gorillas stay alive after dropping.
So we'll see how that goes.
Crazy control. They rebound in the hard point, and we have got ourselves a game 5 on our hands.
That's just insane work out of LAG. I'm pretty sure Boston, they were so close to breaking that 200-point mark when LAG were at 130 points. The reason why they were able to get back into this game is because players started to be a little bit more consistent. There was a point in the game where ASIM was sitting at 14 and 24. The guy went on a 10 spree to eventually turn that streak right around, pick up some kill streaks off the rotation, which eventually allow his teammates to set up beautifully on that P5 hill. But then off the rotation, huge heads-up play coming in from Slasher to flank through backfire, to get that 2-piece, to get 3 off the rotation, and then eventually for LAG to get a full 60 on P1 hardpoint. Usually do not see that happen, man, and that's just great work from LAG. The veteran presence definitely showed right there towards the closing stages of that map, and now we're going to a map 5 between both of these teams. What a start. What a start between this series.
We love to see it. The first official Game 5 for the CDL season here in Major 1 qualifiers. Unbelievable stuff. But Jay, as we take a look through the highlights, I mean, it felt like a few moments, like there was almost a point where you and I were getting a little bit frustrated with the Gorillas losing a few of those rotations. But I mean, you called it out perfectly, right? We talked about Asim, his ability to turn things around, and specifically, we called out Hook. We said, hey, we want the guy to fry. Not only was he frying, but he was leading in the rotations, it felt like, through a majority of these hills. 38 and 25. Jay, he also had 30 non-traded kills. You call him a guy who can take over a map, and it's fair to say, he just did that.
We use that one, Rin, but like barely now. We actually use one called Prize Picks.
He's winning those
it's a lot simpler
fights every single time, and then possibly getting
a lot more
easier,
easier,
well.
like just easier to figure out.
A map now to allow his team to go towards this map 5. And they're
if you're looking to, like,
Berlin.
you can check it out if you want.
He actually had the chance to watch balls and play this versus NYSL. And they lost in a 6-1 dominant
I would say
fashion.
if you're looking to like you actually get back into betting and everything with us, I would do Prize Picks.
When it shouldn't
like I
have.
said,
They
it's
need
a
to allow
lot
their
simpler
SMGs
to
to start
use.
stepping up, to start to grow. As their
Bovada's
SMG
good. It's
look
just
great in that
very
game number 2. They're gonna have to
compared to
that
Prize
going
Picks.
into this
Prize
game
Pick is
number 5.
only like player based compared to Bovada is like
the
everything.
story of
So
this series between
Prize
the
Pick is
Gorillas
like
and the
you
Boston
look at
Breeze.
like the
Let's take a look
CDL
at
and
our
you
maps
look at
and
the
votes. I mean, as
players
we
and
said,
it's like, hey,
it was LAG.
instead of this team's winning and by this spread and by the over and the under and all this other stuff, it's literally like this player's dropping this many kills and you either do the over and the under.
They also walk away with a crazy round 5 on Gavutu control that has
you can do live
every
picks.
analyst in the world questioning themselves and making them think, have we thought maybe about this map a little bit differently? And then LAG able to reply back. The veterans, Hook and Asim specifically, are able to dig deep, and now we've got ourselves a game
like
5
I have a
primed and ready. Oh boy,
I have a parlay
I think
for
we came
the
into
next
this series,
game
talked about a number of different things, but specifically it was going to be about the
where it's like
consistency
Sip,
of
one of
both
the players
these
is getting
rosters.
over a
There's
certain
been some
amount of kills,
mistakes,
and
there's
then
been some great
Clayster
moments, but
on the
ultimately
subliners getting
that
under a
consistency is
certain
going to be
amount of kills.
tested most in our next map.
And now we're going into a game 5.
What's nice about it
this
too
where
is
we
that like
saw
there's like a
Boston,
flex
like I
play
said, played against New York,
where
and
if you have a certain amount of like you have to do at least 2 picks,
and now
the highest
looking
you
at
can go is
LAG
5.
with so much veteran
But
presence. You've been in
if you
multiple
let's
situations like this
say you have 2
before.
picks,
It's all
you
about
could
just
do
slowing down
the
the
flex
game,
play,
not
which is
allowing the game
times
to
2
get away
if you
from you
get
so
both
quick.
of the
Because
picks
Breach,
right,
they're early aggressive,
or
that's what's
it's
set
like
the tone. If you're
0.25
LAG,
or
you
something
cannot allow
if you
that
get
to happen
only
this
one
time.
of them. And then
Alrighty,
if
folks,
you want to do
it
the
is
power play,
about time.
that's
Our
times
first game
3.
5
So it's
of
like,
the official
but that's all you
regular
get. Like
season
you have to
going
hit
down
both of
between
them,
the
but if you hit both
Gorillas
of them, it's
and
times
the
3
Boston
instead.
Breach. Make sure if you haven't
And then
already,
it's like
make sure
it
to tweet out the
increases the
stream. Make sure
more
to
like
utilize
picks
that
you do
hashtag,
up to 5. So like
CDL
up to 5, the
2022.
power
When
play
we come
is
back,
times
it
10
is
if you hit all
for
5.
Berlin Search
It's times
Destroy.
2
Who's winning?
if you hit
We'll
4
find
of
out
them,
right
and then
after
it's
this.
times I think 1.5 or something, or yeah, I think it's like 1.5 or something like that when you hit 3 of them. So it's not bad at all. It's definitely not bad. I like the concept of like what it has. So. If you are looking to sign up though, let me give you a code because 1, you can get double your deposit, and then 2, you know, the glorious Nubster can get a reference and get more money from Notch. But yeah, if you are looking to sign up though, then I can give you a code. What'd you say to you? Shut the fuck up, bitch. I do what I want, man. Alright, I'm gonna take a piss. I'll be right back. cheap. Okay. Oh boy. All right. Well, hey, you're here, Red. If you do end up doing anything, like, and want to get a part of it with me and Chief, just click that link, and then that will pretty much just tell them that, like, I referred you. But it's up to you, man. 100%. I definitely don't want to force you at all. Like I said, it's just a lot easier than Bovada. Bovada is nice and everything. It's just, I mean, even Chiefagoo is just, it's a lot simpler. Like, it very, yeah, and Chiefs want a lot of money. Yeah. I got the kitty in my layup. You're gonna, oh yeah. Look at the text that I sent in the group chat. See if you like those.
Howdy, folks, and welcome
Especially
back
the CDL
to CDL opening weekend. It is day number 1, and we're currently in series number 2 out of 3 in the day. And we've got ourselves a good old game number 5. I'm tossing a lot of numbers at you, but it's all good. Lano and Study here on the call. LAG and Breach going the distance. It is time for Berlin Search and Destroy. Oh boy, I'll tell you what, Jay, this has been a wild series up to this point. Both teams really showing some really overall just clutchness, right? We talked about what Boston were able to do in that control, and then LAG. Talk to me, man. The slaying numbers at the end of that last Berlin hardpoint, it was wild.
Yeah, they were insane, man. I'm pretty sure Asen was able to go on a 10 spree, and as a team, they went 31-12, 2.56 to close of that game 4. But now we're into the game 5, LAG versus Boston. LAG are going to be on the early attack. You see the pressure coming in towards that A bomb, and it's looking like it's going to be on methods. Try to play your life hero, get one and get out with your life.
What LAG learned a lot versus the Mutineers, and that's series of kickoff with how great these A executes can be. So already taking a page out of the Mutineers book, learning from their losses and successfully planting that bomb over at A. Nobody yet to drop it. Having to reference back now toward the back alley. All on the breach for the retake.
And just look at number 8 in Nero. He's working his way all the way around the backside through that train side. A lot of these gunfights are all going to come in towards that A bomb. TJ's able to open up with the first, but Nero does get sniffed out. The trade potentially there as Capsule does take down Slasher. And now all left up to 1v3 is going to be Asen.
Asen gets picked apart.
Yeah,
TJ's able to drop him, and there will be Capsule for the defuse. I mean, what, Jay? It felt like all kinds of players were flanking around. We had LAG making flanks. We had Breach in the full flank as well. But it's Boston who's able to claim our first.
He got up. Well, I mean, I picked him up, but he could have gotten off.
You saw the early attack coming in from LAG. They were all out aggressive towards that A bomb. Methods gives the information to his team, which eventually allows his SMG players in Nero, in Capsule, to eventually set up on that flank. Even though Nero was taken down, Capsule was there for the immediate trade, and that allows them to eventually set up the pinch. The setup was not great out of LAG. That's eventually why they cost that first round. But Boston Breach able to take it on the retake.
Yeah, solid retake out of the breach, as we said. LAG, get that bomb down unscathed. Normally, that A execute gonna work a high majority of the time, 75% as a matter of fact, but Breach showing us that, hey, it's not all about statistics. As much as we love numbers, it's not all about them as gunless. A solid snipe, unfortunately, just behind the back of Capsule. And the rookie realizing, you know what, this bomb, it'd be good to go and get this bad boy down. Also destroying the doors so his teammates who sit just behind him inside of the warehouse can watch over it.
I mean,
with
probably
that in mind,
not,
Breach have got a solid execute set up right now, but LAG, now their turn to retake, and with 2 players falling off the rip, it's not going to make their lives that much easier.
Boston's up 2-0 in search.
Doing everything he can to try and stay alive. Breach get the bomb down, Breach slay, and Breach, they win.
Once again, Breach is just setting the tone early into these search and destroy rounds. We saw them in that very first defensive round. They set up for the Prince. There was no hesitation on the late flank. They get the job done. And then in their offensive attack, they're just full out committing towards that B bomb. Once they get that bomb down, you saw Capsule. He was just breaking every single door, allowing the clutch to happen just in case he does drop on that site. But he made the play. They were able to find that one player going on the late flank. Capsule finds 2 on the bomb. And they're so far just making these rounds look easy, slowly picking apart LAG.
Now LAG back to the attacking side as they'll issue Gunless inside of the library. So he'll have some players to deal with. He'll have his hands full. And really, if you are Gunless and Slasher who sit over here, you want to try to make some noise. I mean, you obviously need to stay alive, but unfortunately, as they drop, the players who are over at A don't decide to go for the plant when in reality, they decide to push in toward B. It looked like the bait could have been successful. And now if you're the Breach, you're wondering, okay, hey, maybe they were at A the entire time. No, they're actually going back toward B. So a lot of craziness going down right now on the mini-map, Jay.
Yeah, didn't really understand that play. As Nero's going to be able to spot both of these players come out towards the middle of the map. Able to at least hit shots on both as Capsule's going to drop down from top 3 fire and find the 2 to close out the round. Boston go up 3-0, but off the rip of that round for LAG, you saw Slasher. He jumps on the barrel. He calls out the cross. All he spots is one player and Methods. Once they take him down, that A-bomb is wide open. So now it just comes down to the communication for LAG. They knew a lot of pressure was going to come in towards that B-bomb. But still, once you eliminate that one player at that A site, you have to get the bomb down. You do not need to rotate it back towards B and potentially lose gunfights. And that's exactly what happened there, as Boston, once again, were just able to pick them apart, catch them basically out in the open, and now up 3-0.
Yeah, great call, my friend. LAG. Unorthodox maneuver does not work out, and this search and destroy already looking like signs of our map 2, which was all-out dominance off the rip from Boston. As it will be a trade to start, we say goodbye to Nero and Gunless. But it's TJ ultimately who is able to plant it down. It's brought down low in terms of HP, but the nade not able to find the pick that the Gorillas were hoping for.
And this setup is beautiful. They have
We've been on the Pro Bowl
sitting on bomb, making sure no player's going to be defusing. You have one player who's watching a late flank, and then Methods, who's the safety net, also watching middle map, able to at least take down one. So now with 25 seconds left, if you're LAG, you have to focus on multiple things, and you still haven't even figured out the positioning of Capsule. As TJ does find the second.
I'm telling you, man, this man is a jinx.
Makes it into a 1v2, but with 14 seconds left, there's no way LAG win this round. This has just been a dominant game from Boston from start to finish.
Boston's
already
4-0 right now.
And you just love, too, the positioning of Breach at the end, right? Methods just
Boston,
sitting over there.
You know what? They got some troubles that they need to work on
if you
hard
even try to
points,
just
but they're
touch the
pretty
ball,
damn
even if you
good
try
in
to just
search.
punch in one little digit, I'm going to be able to take you down. But like you said, my friend, Breach, a phenomenal setup as now 4 rounds to 0. 4 rounds to 0. LAG, they've got to wake up.
Yeah, they got to get back into this game, man. Obviously, Boston, they have some VOD to work with when they played New York, so they have made every single adjustment possible. No one is trying to go for the over challenge. No one is getting overzealous. Everyone's just doing their job, and this has been a clean Game 5 from this Boston roster. As they go back on the defensive side, this time around, though, LAG, they're going to commit this bomb towards that B site. As Capsule is at least going to watch the cross for the time being. Straight for run is going to get called in.
Love that call, right? Doesn't decide to bring out the sniper, but instead just has the streak. And that will take Asim off of the bomb. However, it does get planted. So for Breach, not as much of an advantage as you'd like. Also, you sit at a 3 versus 3. Capsule decides to rock out that dead silence as he goes hunting for some kills. Again, the bomb planted in a position of which Gunless has a good line of sight to watch it. Cap threatening for the defuse, but Hook sits in another perspective. He's at least able to call it out. With only 8 HP, it's up to Gunless and Slasher, but the nade tossed out from Pierce, as now it's all on to Methods and Slasher versus each other. Methods, not a whole lot of time, and it will be a round for the Gorillas. Again, somewhat of a similar story to what we saw on that Tuscan search and destroy. LAG just by the
he's
narrowest
just literally
of
betting on
margins,
everything today.
able to escape with rounds, but Jay, they get it done, and now they've got one on the board.
And that was great work out of
Oh, he
LAG.
did?
They opened up with the early first blood, gunless onto TJ.
He
But
said,
then
"Wow,
once
that looks
Asim
so
gets taken down
good."
by that streak, that opens up the bomb site. If Gunless
That'd be
doesn't
Zach
hit
for you,
that nade
brother.
and at least takes down one, it's probably a totally different round right there. But huge nade coming in from Gunless to even up them numbers, make it a 2v2. He eventually gets traded, and then Slasher finds that kill. And with only 12 seconds left, Slasher knows he's been around the scene for quite some time. You just got to play the clock and eventually get the guy off bomb as they get their first round on the board. And I don't want to say like this is looking very similar, but this is looking just like New York versus Boston. This time Boston are in command.
Yeah, that game 5, right? New York came out swinging. Breach didn't have an answer, but now Boston, shoes on the other foot, it would appear. As now we've got a trade to start off this round number 6.
4-1 Boston
So
right now.
A site. I was gonna say Hook has made himself quite comfortable there in that small room. Cap, not gonna see him. I think Hook knows there's not just one player here, but there's in fact 2. Meanwhile, Nero takes down 2, so all this work from Hook, it could be great, but he's got no teammate support, and they finally check the small room angle. Breach, it seems, can do no wrong. 5-1.
They cannot, man. They cannot. And it's all on Nero right there. Like the entire time, it's a 3v1 all the way across the map. Nero was able to take down both of those players to eventually force it to be a 1v3, all left up to Hook, who is just basically playing patient in towards that A-bomb, waiting for the push to happen. But when you're in that position like Hook, and your teammates are dropping all the way across the map, it's just truly unfortunate because right there, you had the man advantage. All you have to do is play the trades on that B site, take down Nero, and then you can eventually jump back into the play to help Hook. But that's not what happens, man. Boston, they just win their gunfights. Nero goes huge across the map with that 2-piece to now go up 5-1. One round away from
You would have
winning
bet
the
on
series.
London, wouldn't you?
For Gorillas, again, you've been in this spot before. Obviously, they got to 3 rounds in the Tuscan. But
Honestly, I think everybody would have.
we'll see what they can do now. I believe we did have, for a moment, a timeout request there on the map, so we'll
Oh my
see
God.
exactly what's
Well, their
going on.
odds
I know
to
the
win,
players
though,
are
were
still
only,
talking
like,
to each other,
plus,
so
like,
we'll
115
continue
or
to talk
something.
about this next round
But
coming up.
their odds to
specifically,
probably
there
3-0,
for
I think
LAG
they
there,
were
Jay. As
probably
we said,
closer to,
it
like,
just
plus
seems as if they
400.
cannot find the right timing. Every time they set up for a play, they're instantly taken down, and it just makes me think of that one round and that search and destroy, right? Where they have the positioning set up over toward A. Slasher and Gunless are making noise to the opposite side of the map. And even at the very least, both of them get taken down. Great, but you at least made some noise. You at least distracted the opponents. It just feels like in search and destroy, up to this point and so far, through our 6 rounds in this Game 5 search and destroy, LAG just don't look connected. But maybe, who knows? This time, for a brief little timeout, it could be the time that they need to regain and figure out some sort of a game plan.
Yeah, they definitely need to get back into this one, man, because Boston,
it may be
they're
a
just
little
setting
late,
the
Jay.
tone. Yeah,
Maybe
they're
a
setting the
little
tone
late
with
for
their
it.
aggression. Like, just early into the game, Boston are not hesitating on any play calls that they want to get done. Like, the fact that they're having one player consistently call out the cross, even though they had the numbers on the cross, they're still sending 2 players on that side of the map. They're playing super confident. They're playing so
He's
well
done
as a
being on
team
my
right
lap.
now.
He was
playing
like, "You're
for
not
every
petting me
single trade
anymore."
possible. And right now, if you're LAG, it's just slowly but surely starting to work these rounds as a unit. Like, nothing is working so far. Let's just 4-man hit A.
Yeah, we'll see if it can work out as Slasher gets picked apart off the rip. TJ there cuts him down off the cross. Instant 3 versus 4 situation. In fact, Methods gets taken down, so the AR is already involved in quite a few fights. Asa, meanwhile, does get the plant down successfully at A. TJ tosses the nade out. Instead of a takedown Hook, Nero, his position is known, and he turns on the Asa with the pistol. And now it's all going to be on the Gunless. Now make it a 1v1. Prior teammates, TJ versus Gunless, and Gunless will walk away with the 1v1. Again, narrowest of situations, but LAG now find their second.
And that's all on Gunless right there. I'm pretty sure he was able to pick the ace up on that round. So now down 2-5. Even though the early first blood does come in from TJ on the Slasher, you do not want to see that happen with Gunless. They were committed towards that A-bomb. He wins his first initial gunfight. He reads the player on the flank, and then was able to clutch up the 1v2 to keep his team alive in this game. So far, Gunless, he's been their clutchest player in Search to Destroy. 1v2, 1v3. Someone just needs to help him, as you see Hook sitting at 0-7. This is not the stat line we expect from such a great player.
Yeah, right. It's been the similar story for the SMG players. We know Asim, not a great search and destroy performance at kickoff, not a great performance in the game 2, and now Hook, an 0-7, joining the agency alongside his SMG duo. Slasher once more being a problem off the rip. As Nero gets found that as well, an early 2 there for the Gorillas.
And that's just good work from LAG to at least set up the nade spot to get that player off bomb. They work as a team to find that player in towards P2. So now in a 4v2 situation, you know that both players have to be pushed out towards the back. They find TJ. Now Method's in a 1v3 with 20 seconds. He's going to get sniffed
5 to
out.
3
and that's
for
going to be 2
Boston
rounds
right now.
back-to-back for LAG, slowly but surely getting back into this game. And Gunless is not dropped,
LAG's
so
won
that kill streak is
back-to-back.
still alive.
Where's that been? Huh?
Yeah, where? Like, why do we do it? When we're down 5-1.
Gorillas?
This is the second time. Second search and destroy. Down 5-1. Oh, we're going to start winning
Said
some rounds
Tim
now.
picked Boston to win.
Oh man, at the very least.
When did he pick him? Like 5 minutes ago?
The game is over, but still, you love what you see at times from the Gorillas. It's those sparks of brilliance.
Wow,
It's
is he
just a
actually
matter
going to be... Bro,
of it
imagine
happening
literally...
continually.
Imagine Boston
But again,
like
LAG
chokes the lead
still
at a
surviving,
5-1
still alive,
lead
and in the exact same
and gives
situation that they were
LAG
on
the win.
Tuscan
I would
once more.
fucking... I'd
They
be
lost
so
that
mad.
6 rounds to 3, and now... what can they do? Will they rewrite the script? Can they get us at least to around 10? Or Capsule spoil the show? Will he spoil the party? As Gunless looking toward the dock side is Hoop. Inside the bottom of the library, some good shots as that'll be the first blood for LAG. Also, some excess shots there onto Nero. With all the noise, all the pressure that they've made, this might be the wrap.
Yeah, and this is the heads-up play coming in from LAG.
Oh my
This is what
God,
makes them
bro.
veterans as Gunless
Gunless just got streaks. TJ's all by himself. It's about to be 5-4.
As it's all going to be left up to TJ.
TJ got
He's gonna
one,
be
he
able to
got
take down
Gunless.
That's a huge kill. But now this free A bomb plan is going to come
Problem
in.
is, though, is
All
he's
left
all the
up
way
to
at
TJ
B
in
and they just playing an
1v3.
A.
This is not going to be an easy task to get done. But TJ's one hell of a search and destroy player. 35 seconds left, though. This is going to be impossible, basically.
It does not look good. Also, you have one player who's sitting top 3, and yeah, he'll have the information
5 to 4.
Slasher there to cut him down. All right, so Gorillas showing us that, hey, they are still alive. Their pulse is still there. They're still breathing, and especially, Jay, that streak from Gunless.
Yeah,
he's now got 2 of them for the rest of the game.
Yeah, that's 3 rounds in a row for LAG. So now they go back on the defensive side. So far, Boston, their go-to has been that quick B-bomb plant. We saw the way that LAG were able to shut it down the first go-around, get good teammates onto the player on site, and then eventually just full-on attack towards P2. But now they're down, still into this game, though. You see 2 players are going to be on a 3 spree. TJ Halley trying to work his way up through Middle Broken. But this time, they're not going to allow Boston Breach to try to get a free A-bomb plan, as Gunless is going to be that player still calling out the cross.
Gunless, can he continue to be influential, and based off that slide and where the stun ends up coming in from Gunless, is going to have no awareness that this plan is going to go down. So somewhat catching LAG off guard, the early plant and Cap. He wants to try to escape, jumps on through the street, and fortunately for him, Gunless was in the middle of repositioning himself. But here comes the streak raining in from the skies. It does gain some information, so at least LAG will have that to work off of. The heads-up play coming in from the vet and Methods.
2 down right now.
Takes down
About to
Hoop
get
from the
the
back.
third from
Meanwhile, it's
Methods.
TJ, the other veteran, taking down
actually won't
Slasher.
be
Gunless
Methods, it'll be
inside of
Cat.
the point, trying to stay alive. He's got the sniper. He gets picked apart as well. And now it's all on to Asim. Say goodnight to him as the Breach will escape with a Game 5 victory. Their first official win as a new franchise here in the CDL. Congratulations to them. As LAG, they send it the distance. They get us to a Game 5, but the S&D dominance, at least early on from the Breach, continued to be the story here, Jay.
Yeah, Boston, they just got the job done. And let's bring in Ali, let's bring in Nameless, so we can all discuss this, because that was an insane match, man. The way that Boston were able to make these adjustments on that game number 5, that was beautiful. Straight textbook. Like, the fact that their offensive pushes were so beautiful towards that B-bomb every single time, and LAG simply didn't have an answer for it for 3 offensive rounds. You got to tip it to them, because these young players, they've been putting in work, and it definitely showed in that game 5.
Yeah, I mean, that was a crazy series, first of all. Boston always giving us these Game 5 just bangers, but going all the way to that. I mean, in that Search and Destroy, I liked what I saw out of Boston. Honestly, in both Search and Destroys, they would take full map control literally every single round. And even think back to that Tuscan, Capsule was getting pushed up, picking up those first bloods at any moment when he wanted. They look good in Search and Destroy, Alex.
They've seriously polished their Search and Destroy since we originally saw them in Kickoff Classic. Not to mention the fact that LAG, not once, Jay said it twice, started to come back, and we're all like, oh, okay, they're getting nervous. Round 5. They only need one more to win, but they ended up closing it out. LAG, Gunless had both of those streaks, but one of my biggest gripes that you will continue to hear me say throughout the season is that I hate when teams play around the streaks. The streak should work with the play, not make the play around the streaks. And I feel like that's exactly what LAG did with Gunless's streaks on B Street, and that's what ended up losing them the round.
Yeah, absolutely. And without question, obviously, LAG, that has to be the primary focus, is looking at their search and destroy going forward. But they also should have won that control. They lost back-to-back defenses. That's unacceptable. Lando, talk to me a little bit about that control and what you saw.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, we saw this exact same story when it came down to the Kickoff Classic versus the New York Subliners. They were going to be in that round 5 situation. We had that unfortunate restart, but still, their ability to do that on attack, the dominance that they had, but specifically to me, the entire story of that control came down to Big Cap, right? It came down to Capsule, his play to go on the spree, his ability to stay inside of the tank, to allow for his teammates to make the plays that they did. That to me was the ultimate story of that control. Because I forget, we were calling it out. He was like 9-24, triple negative.
Yeah, he wasn't playing great.
At least gets close to positive toward the end. An incredible spree from the young man to close out that control. That, like you said, Nameless, did not look at all like it was going to go their way.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, watching that control, I mean, there are multiple times where I thought LAG was just throwing their lives away too much, trying to save the boat.
Sir.
And it's just, at some point, you have to concede that player life and just play the defense and stop them from getting over towards B. But talking a little bit about the Boston Breach and what we saw, at least on that map, on offense, looked great.
Especially TJ, this entire series, he ended up slowing down in that game 4, but game 5, he turned up once again to help close out this search and destroy. I'm going to keep repeating this. They seriously paused it since Kickoff Classic. We now see them go to the game 5 and they close it out against a team like LAG, which is full of veterans, right? And when they're put under pressure, that's when they start to really shine. We saw that in the control, we saw it in the hardpoint, and we saw it here in our game 5, but they just weren't able to close it out. Big ups to Cap as well. I think he loves Berlin.
Yeah, I think so.
I need to ask him that later because he has that ace at debut, and then he goes, I think it was like 7-2 in game 5.
Yeah, I mean, the guy was just popping off. He's obviously an extremely integral player on this roster, and even going up against a team in LAG who at times had 4 ARs out in some of the respawns.
Yeah.
He had a sub the entire time, and the man was popping off. Jay, talk to me a little bit about TJ Halley, because he had a fantastic series. Map 1, the guy was fine despite the loss. He's the guy that, you know, in pre-match we highlighted, we need to see a little bit more consistency out of him. What'd you see?
I saw nothing but consistency. The guy started off the beginning hard point. He dropped like 35 to 40 kills and then took over in that search and destroy. Even though Capsule had such a great start, British was like 11-0, TJ still led the lobby with 12 kills. And this is the kind of player he needs to be for this roster to have success. Because TJ, he is now a veteran on this team. You have to be able to teach the younger players what you used to do, and that's exactly what he did in that series. Kept it consistent in search and destroy, which is his bread and butter. But then also with that AR on the Gavutu, turns up right alongside Capsule, just gets the job done.
Absolutely, and it's got to feel good to get that first W in on the season for the Boston Breach. And for you, Allie, looking at Boston Breach and going forward, do you think that they're going to be able to get to that top 4 status?
Top 4 is pushing it. We have such an incredible roster lineup in the CDL teams this
year. I had to guess, probably Cold War.
FaZe and Ultra. Maybe it's possible. I think the ceiling is really high. I see them kind of beating everybody middle of the pack right now. They're kind of in T5, T6 for me right now, but it's incredibly possible with the ceiling they have.
Okay, Landos, what's a satisfactory placing for this team at the end of Major 1 when it's all said and done? What do you think this team would be happy with?
You know, obviously for the players, it's always going to be different. You know, it's always like win or bust. Or I think for them, like they'd be super happy with top 4. But to be totally honest with you, I think to be really happy with the Boston Breach, I think anywhere from 6 to 5 to 4, like anywhere in that range, I would be really happy with this team. As Ali mentioned, I mean, the level of talent that we've got right now in the league is unbelievable. But I will say, Boston, the way they were able to dominate in those search and destroys, granted versus this LAG team that really just doesn't look all that structured right now in the mode, it does impress you because, like we said, we learned a lot from Boston, from their series at kickoff to where they showed us here. They can be a team that can clutch up in the biggest moments, whether it's in the controls or dominate in the search and destroys. I think this team really is going to be about the hard points throughout the remainder of the season. If they can be consistent in that mode, continue to be solid in control, and overall perform like they did in the search and destroys, I think they've got themselves a very well and complete roster. But again, I would be very happy for them to be in that upper 6 in general. But anywhere from that point on would just make me a much happier camper or a bigger Boston fan.
Well,
For
Boston,
me,
turn up so we can
I don't really
make
think
Lando
that
happy.
Boston are going to be able to do that. I don't think Boston going to be able to consistently get top 4 as the season goes on. I feel like this is a team that's going to be around the middle of the pack all year long, but I feel like for them,
I love how Tim goes, my mentions are real quiet right now.
It's because all these teams are going to start practicing, start polishing. Like Atlanta FaZe, there's no way they're going to look as bad as they did at kickoff going into the major. I feel like for this team, since it's such a young roster, top 8, at least for the first major, is where they're going to be.
Well, we've been talking about Capsule. Let's check out some of his stats from that series. And the guy's been lighting it up. I mean, we've been expecting this guy to continue to fry, to continue to go off. And from what we've seen, I mean, non-traded kill percentage, 80%.
And total engagement, 211. This guy is
211.
flying across the map. Dude, 1.11 KD ratio. Again, we're talking about them going up against a team like LAG, which in conversation.
That's pretty much what was going on last year.
Due to incredible, but in Hardpoint, there's still a lot of incredible players to go up against. I mean, gun skill across the board.
There's probably
and
chemistry
Tyler
of them
especially.
being best
So for him to show up
absolutely.
this much, I'm excited to see what he does.
And like actually enjoying
Well,
playing
welcome
with
to our
each other,
Game
but,
Fuel
like,
Victory Spotlight.
the
Capsule,
gameplay chemistry
congrats
probably
on the
just wasn't
W. And I want to talk to you a little bit, man. So what's practice been like headed into the season? What was the primary focus after opening weekend?
Obviously, like, our Hardpoint today, we played really sloppy.
Oh, like you talking about?
We should have closed it down. But honestly, our main focus leading up to this match was S&D.
Yeah.
And as our S&D in the kickoff was really bad on our end, like, it looked like we didn't know what we were doing. And then we just focused on that, and we played really good today in S&D.
You did. You guys slammed it in S&D, and honestly, I have to ask
Oh
this
my God, that's
question.
hilarious.
Is it
All right,
really
hold
your
on,
favorite map? I mean, is that your favorite one going into? 8 piece on debut, and then that S&D you absolutely fried. Is it?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, Berlin is my map.
It's your map. I slap your name on it, dude. That's going to be vetoed from here on out. I hope you're prepared.
Yeah, you've been frying on that map, Cap. But I also have another question for you. I just asked Lando and Study where they would think you guys would place towards the end of Major 1. So as a realistic expectation, where do you see your team when Major 1 is said and done?
Done. I see us getting top 6.
Okay.
At least.
That's pretty good, man. I mean, top 6, you guys coming in, brand new roster. What's it been like playing with players like Methods and TJ, players that have championships and learning sort of under their wing?
Yeah, Zen and Tej, they teach me a lot. They help me become a better player. So it's always good to have people like that. They encourage me every day. Honestly, they're really great teammates, and I'm glad that I could be playing with them.
Well, we're glad to have you, Capsidal. Good luck going forward with you and the rest of the guys. Everybody say goodbye to Capsidal. Wish them luck going forward. The Boston Breach getting that first W. Much love, brother.
Hey, so in the background, we just missed it. Hi, guys.
Chef Tony was there just for a second. But anyways, guys, that's it for this match. After the break, we're going to have New York versus Seattle. It's a rematch.
So who do you got? You got
Kickoff
Seattle or you
Classic.
got
I
New
couldn't be
York?
more excited for this one. Watching the rookies versus the sophomores. Also, get some Crim 6 and Clayster action in there as well. We'll see you guys after this break.
Yo, Chief. Who do you got? Seattle or New York? Well, there's no way this motherfucker really hits 4 out of the 5 on golf. I didn't even know he bet golf, like he knew anything really about golf that way, and this motherfucker hits 4 out of the 5 with tying the 5th one at 71 when he needed under 71. Wait, Harden's not playing? Oh, I'm so happy I don't have Harden then. Holy fuck. Are you doing Miles Bridge over 3 points, free throws maybe? Okay. Not bad. Brandon got Goodwin, 5 assists. Yeah, Nikolai, I was thinking since he's playing tonight, he's 100%. He should be going over that 46.5. Yo, you're doing Ball with 21.5 points, okay. And Marcus Smart with 6.5 points. Interesting. Bro, is this team really coming back, bitch? What? Woo! I hope so. I hope it's
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Zenny Gaming. Armor your eyes with blocks gaming glasses starting at $24 by visiting zenny.com/CDL.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soul, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground and the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Welcome back to CDL opening weekend. We are 2 matches in with one absolute banger to go. Allie, how you feeling?
I'm doing great. I just saw Crit 6 on the money, guys. Dude,
Yeah,
the CDL teams have been knocking the content out of the park this year.
Well, it's not just me and Allie. We also have Miles and Chance. Let's bring the boys back on in. And we got a, what do you call it, Miles? A humdinger ahead of us. New York
It's going to be
versus
it's going to be a humdinger. It's going to be an absolute hoot. This is going to be dope. We're running it back, man. I mean, this was a great series to watch at Kickoff Classic. Now everyone's had a little bit of time to get some homework done. This should be about.
Absolutely. Now, talking about New York a little bit, this is a star-studded roster, Chance. If you had to pick one player to be the X Factor, though, who is it?
It's going to be Neptune, right? Like 100% the X factor for the squad. If he's popping off, everyone is going to be wheeling and dealing. At the same time, though, it might even be a map-specific thing, right? We go to Bocage, and that's where Crim6 started frying as well with the extra SMG. But I think Neptune is the key guy. When you have that extra SMG, having that success, that means you're going to be good to go.
Well, Allie, talk to me a little bit about the game field keys to victory for the New York Subliners.
Well, they got to keep finding trades. 36% traded death percentage in the hardpoint ranks. They place second out of all 12 of our teams. So as long as they keep finding those trades and playing together, I feel like the chem in this team, they've been gelling really well and execute defensively in S&D. 65% of offensive win rate versus a 32% defensive win rate. So maybe a little too over-aggressive in that defense, guys. Maybe play a little bit more patient and back and wait for the kills to come to you. Study the VOD and use prior knowledge. Lost 3-1 versus Seattle at the Kickoff Classic. Now we're heading to this official map, so maybe hopefully they can win map vetoes.
Absolutely, map vetoes are certainly going to be very important. And looking at this New York roster, the 2 absolute slayer SMGs, 2 AR players, and a flex player in Crim, who honestly was lighting it up at the Kickoff Classic. Miles, when you look at Crim6, he has been inconsistent in the last couple of years, but in this game so far, he's looked great.
Yeah, he has looked really good so far. I mean, Porter, he was tweeting about it a long while back about, like, I might be the guy with the MP40, and he really did look super strong. So it's impressive to see Crim, who's been around for a long time. He is, in many players' eyes, in many fans' eyes, he is the one true GOAT. You know, he's been around the longest, he's got the most wins, he's the man. Can he bring that today, you know, against the squad? Like, this is the perfect tale of, like, old guy who's been doing it a long time, he's the GOAT, and then there's these new kids who are so hungry for that title, so hungry to prove themselves. We'll see if he can keep it up against the young'uns.
Well, absolutely. I think it's time for you guys to take it away, Miles and Chance. Enjoy yourselves and have a good match.
Oh, we will enjoy ourselves. This is going to be an absolute treat. Chance again, we run it back. Kickoff Classic 3-1 to Seattle. We looked at the maps and modes today. A very, very different look to that series overall. Tuscan to start things off. Bocage, Search and Destroy would be a lot of fun for that game too. And then we go back to the rainy shores of Gavutu for that control game. Chance, we go in the distance here today. Looking at the map bans, how do you feel?
Oh, look, the Tuscan hardpoint is a run it back. Seattle, they beat them 250 to 200 last time they played, so pretty close game. Seattle had the edge. Gavutu controlled, though. It was dominant from Seattle. They've not lost a round of a single one. They are winning on offense. They are destroying people on defense. So Seattle has been on point, and the fact that it's a run-it-back series where Seattle is going against New York again, and a couple of the maps are run-it-back as well, it will be the clearest of indications of how much progress New York has made that they had with the extra time since that Kickoff Classic. So it's going to be a fun one, man, just to see like how long Seattle can keep it up.
I mean, Ultra, clearly the front runners in the control department, they managed to dethrone them, but we'll see. We'll get to that when we get to that. But first and foremost, Tuscan, beautiful burning Italian countryside will be the home of our first match, and here we go. NYSL, Seattle Surge, playing for sweet old points here in the Call of Duty League. And we'll see just how this one plays. Chance again. Optic Texas Major, not too far away. We cannot wait, and clearly, New York Subliners, early time goes their way.
Yeah, all right, let's do it. Subliners up right now.
Are chilling in the middle of the map. His teammates are responsible for the rest.
So I've got
handling the mid-map pressure fairly well. Pred might find the opening. And the
I've got Sib over 51.5 points. Clayster under 57
to keep them at bay. And this is perfect, man. Like, almost always the team that spawns
they were doing a discount on Sib earlier on Prize Picks. I was like, oh, I 100%
making the break on the point and controlling the rest of the map. Even Sib down low, he's responsible for dealing with the guys trying to go on those flanks to break spawn. So Seattle, they cover their bases, they win all the gunfights. Admittedly, they'll be down by a bit, but they have the setup for new, the perfect rotation over towards B2.
It's about time. He will flip soon. And for those who are wondering as well, who didn't know maybe, it was Sib's birthday yesterday. He's 20. If he can't bring those birthday vibes into today's games. 2 players now trying to hit through the backside for NYSL. Here comes the hold from Pred. Gets them both, guns them down. Maybe a little bit of help from accuracy there. And a clean 4 down Chance. Perfect wipe. NYSL. Try again.
And look at the setup, by the way. Pred, he's moving up the map. So now if NYSL players start to fall, they're going to end up spawning in the back. This is exactly what Seattle wants to actually have happen. Give up those back spawns. You don't want to give up control of the point, though. You got to be fair to the swarm, but you want to make sure that you're set up for the rotation. They're handling it perfectly. Chill. Max there for the clearance, and again, they are just trying to manipulate those spawns and make sure that they're set up for new. Seattle, it might not be as perfect as they want, but it's pretty damn good.
Yeah, it's looking all right so far. Scrap time as well. 15 seconds still to play for here. Grim's going to be the guy trying to make that one happen. Accuracy, stay alive. Here comes the flood from NYSL. Get him off that at the very least. There's a good chunk of time still to be had. Grab that, make the way across that left-hand side of the map. That's going to be P3, and already you see accuracy spawning in the perfect position for that one. Nep, though, flies right into his mouth, gets robbed easily. Take care of. Up to Clay now. Slow and steady approach. 1 kill goes his name. No one else really to pick that one up, so NYSL is going to be Crim leading the charge now, desperately trying to make their way through the front. Mate, not an easy hard point
Sib's
to
on
break.
8 right now.
P3
Let's
can
see
be a
it.
sweet one.
As long as Clay stays under 57 and a half, I'm
about
happy.
this, even if you're spawning P1, you can spawn up and start chucking
Sib
nades
is going.
on the hill, but the guy that
dude.
is the biggest problem.
Holy
That is Sib.
fuck,
He is on
I
a
love
high.
it.
He'll be thinking about those kill streaks. Just a few more kills away, and honestly, he's in a power position.
I was gonna put
He can
Pred
wait
on
for
there
them
as
to
well,
fall
but I
to
was
his
like, you know what, let me
lap.
just do
There's
Sib and
number
Clay.
one. Get the glide
I was
for
gonna
the
do
second.
Pred's over, which was
Easy
like 60 and a
gunfight for
half.
Sib, almost
This
assuredly
motherfucker's already
gonna
got
get it,
8.
and Krim might be
But the
one
only
that
thing
beats
though
him.
is
He's
that
gonna try
with
to
Prize
wait
Pick,
out,
it's
though.
only the
This
first
is the
3
full
maps.
streaks. Here comes the pressure. Great
So
timing.
it's
Hydra's
like
gonna get
whatever
killed.
the
There's still
point
gonna
the
be that
kills
strafing
are
run to
total
play
in the
with. That's
first
gonna
3
come into
maps,
effect
that's
later
it.
on still.
So
We're
it's like,
seeing plays
okay.
become far more useful at
So, I
finding
mean,
kills.
Sib's at
Here we go.
12
Fred
right now.
Trying to slow down the play. Not a lot
With,
going on here. Towards the
51
church we go
and a
for
half
our next
total.
hard point. Always a mixy one. Look for the MP40 players to start getting kills here. It's close range engagements. That's the name of the game. Going in the church. Early time on the subliners. Nep through the back. Can't get it done. It's all coming down to Krim now. He's trying to stay alive as the rest of the team on the hunt. This should be all good for Seattle. Chance a nice hold so far.
Oh, he's frying
This is
right
going to
now.
get
100%
a little
he's
bit
frying.
crazy, though, right? It is players hitting from every direction. Someone sets foot inside the hill, so Mac has to wrap back. Able to find the first, able to get the second as well. Mac now on a 5. Him and Sib almost taking turns, but even still, Neptune just responds, walks straight in the hill, picks up a 2-piece. Again, a very crazy hill we have sometimes over at church, but it looks like for the map spread, NYSL able to lock it down.
Ooh.
Final 18 seconds should go their way.
It's a nice force spree from Neptune. About time we saw the man heat up. A lot of promise here. Again, coming into this season as a top prospect. He's surrounded by a brilliant coaching staff and again, star-studded players. A man of that mechanical ability should be a dominant player in the time to come. But for now, starting to get things going. You still have Surge with the lead over towards the dreaded 5th hard point. This is the blender.
Josh
The
Allen.
nades, all about flying in those little windows. No one survives for very long. We'll see if they can get any kills here. And Chance, I mean, look, it's going to be crazy. But let's go for a New York subliners.
Oh,
Listen in
what
to
you were
see how they
talking
break
about.
it.
Middle Mac dead. Let's go.
I don't spawn him. Yeah, spawn him faster.
I spawn roof. They're still spawning out.
He's making I'm in there. I'm in there.
Go. Their door. Their door. Fred their door. One in their
Bottom got me, bro.
Rotate.
I'm putting him in. We're good. Yo, Paco and Travis, calm down.
They're gonna probably be here.
Oh my god, Pred just did fucking Neptune dirty.
We gotta rotate, man.
Yeah,
One
rotate.
tree.
Everyone fucking relax, dude. Please.
He's
Like Travis or Paco, you're talking.
Crim's pissed, dude. Crim literally goes in the mic in that they're listening right now. He goes, everybody fucking relax, please.
Middle. I mean, Fred is already middle.
He's one shot mid. You two. Where's going? You two. I got stunned.
Alright, go through mid, man.
Yeah, one's hitting you too. Yeah, slow it down. Slow it down.
One is pushed on mid, guys. One mid. There should be another one mid. Middle on me somewhere.
Yeah,
I didn't stun him. Work mid. I don't know where he
He's
is.
front fire, Mac, dead.
Alright, so one's flanking our mid.
Chance no one wants to disappoint their parents ever, but when your 2 Call of Duty dads are telling you to calm down, telling you to rotate, I mean, I would be listening to the best of my ability, but very, very interesting listening with the subliners.
I mean, that's just the listen in of what it sounds like to be in the blender. Like, they had the early rotation in P5. Seattle broke it pretty much instantly, and since then, they've just had them in the trap. This is the first bit of hill time New York has gotten in the past, like, 2.5 minutes. And even there, we're going back to P2. And keep in mind, this is where Seattle really started to get the ball rolling. They handled it perfectly. They watched the back. They turned it into flipping the spawns. But right now, it looks like Sib, he's let a couple players through. He needs to try to time out this pinch because accuracy, the pressure's going to be on him.
Yep, the pressure's still on. Hold the point now. Columns, not an easy point to hold, but you can get a sweet amount of time here indeed. Hydra's on a 4. He calmed down and he's turned things up. 20 and 15 overall. The kill's starting to work out again, but here comes the hit from the back. Seattle winding up for it. Hydra's up first. Mac doesn't get anyone. Great work out, Seattle. Good kills. Forward they go. Over to Clay now. He's got to try and stay alive. Here's the reposition. Pred with the shots. Sweet work out of him. As he's now on a 3, can't get any more out of that one as Hydra straight out of the respawn, straight back to the point. But you've still got Seattle in control, and Chance that lead is only getting bigger.
Oh, in New York, they're trying to find what decision they want to make. Either force it at the old hill or maybe rotate, and they weren't really able to do either. Hydra gets caught in the middle of the map. Sib has already found his corner in the back spawn. So New York, they didn't do either objective And now Sib, this is the hill that he went on, what, a 5-6 spree the last go around. He's back in prime position, but Hydra there to shut him down. New York, it was a struggle to get the rotation win, but eventually they got it.
Yeah, Krim winning a big one on the backside of the hard point. Sib's here now as well. It's the old dog.
Are you watching this game or no?
And tell you what, the old dog's got some tricks in him.
It's 208 Seattle to 125
These players aren't going to know what's about to hit him. You've got hardpoint still in the hands of NYSL. These times still going their way. Crim's on an absolute rampage. He goes rogue for a Mo. Now, accuracy through the front. It is water crashing against the rocks right now. Seattle Surge. Now they've finally made their way through. Kills still going. It is non-stop here on P3. 25 remaining. Neptune finding a few more here. Back over do we go to accuracy, and it's Nep again. He's still keeping the kills going, and this is typical Vanguard. It is literally non-stop.
Oh, dude, in the bludgeoning on the hill, look at that win, actually. He didn't even want to collect that time. I think if I'm Mac, I try to get those final 10 seconds, but either way, he takes that from NYSL. I mean, they're down by 80 points at the minute, and look at Seattle. They got the rotation. They got Mac up top. Yes, he gets dropped, but everyone else still inside of the point. Seattle, I mean, they
213 to 135.
Outslaying, outclassing their opponent. New York, they got to get back.
Sib's on 29 right now.
And this team is looking fine so far. We are not done yet, though. Here comes a hit from Neptune. Neptune versus
Plays on 16. Would love to see it.
It's not quite over yet, but you have to make the play now, NYSL. This is not how you want to start the series off. The clock's still ticking. Is the small contest, 30 seconds on the back line. Max going a few more. Accuracy with a spawn control. Pred with a 2-piece on the hill. It's 20 for the win. And here comes the pressure again. You can still
I need Sib to get like
chance
3 or 4 more kills just to make it a little easier.
It's just, even if you're stripping away
oh, he got shot in the ass.
It seems like it's only a matter of time before Seattle gets the win. Even the trades inside the point. Number 4 is there. Pred almost gets it every time. This time, Crimdo is
yeah,
there.
Why are you not working?
P5 we go. In my mind, from the first rotation, this is where Seattle started to run away with the game. They got control of this hill, and they never looked back at New York. Maybe one attempt, some nice movement from Clay. He just gets dropped inside the point. Seattle there, 11 seconds to go.
Sib's gonna find the kills. That's a 3 spree. Almost able to get the 4. NYSL still though knocking on
Sib's
this
at 33, baby. Let's go. Clay's still at 16.
Kills to save it and seal the
game.
game.
This game, like competitive wise, is solely an FP40 game.
NYSL come out on top.
When it comes to like getting a ton of kills,
100%. Great awareness takes care of the players below 30 seconds.
All right, 242 to 150.
It has to be perfect from New York from here on
40. Shit, let him get 40.
I love to see it. By the way, Hydra just spawned up looking outside the map, so he takes a tumble, but he's back in the mix.
Bro, what the fuck am I watching? CSGO right now, it's 14 to 14.
And actually, because the Nate's no Sid picks up 2, the 1v1 inside the point. Hydra cannot be understated how important that is. Now the teammates, though, they got to fly in that rotation.
Right now are going off on
both great spawns from Seattle. They spawn close to P1. Now Clay flying his way forward. 1 kill at a time's all he needs. Mid-maps burst open. Here comes NYSL.
Sib's at 38, bro. 39, man. Give it to him.
5 spree, 5 seconds to go, and
oh, he almost had it.
Boys down. That's a huge.
He almost had 40. He got 39.
Map 1.
Well, and 2 clean as well. I mean, you can hear the communication towards the end. Both Sib and I think accuracy that are with him on the point. They know the pressure's coming through you. They knew exactly where to look at, but there's just a couple things that Seattle was doing right. Like the moment they had over towards P5, they get the break instantly. For the next 2 minutes, they're just running the score up. But even those P2 to P3 rotations, Seattle are putting in the work both times. They're making things messy on the rotation to actually get Sib in the back and cause problems. On top of the fact that they're just manipulating the spawn so well, Seattle truly, I mean, that is a very solid Tuscan hardpoint coming out, even better than what they had at the Kickoff Classic.
Yeah, I mean, Sib, 39 and 22 overall. That is a very impressive performance. You know, starting things off big. Damage across the board for everyone, looking very good. NYSL, of course, Clay and Neptune didn't have as much damage on the board. Still not, I mean, it's so hard, man. Like, you're getting slayed so bad. The opening sort of, like, first set of hardpoints chance, entirely Seattle in the driver's seat.
I mean, again, the opening break is always helpful, just to spawn on the preferred side of the map. But, I mean, I think even just moment to moment, and this is the start of it, right? Pred picks up these kills on the P2. They give up the back spawns, and that sets themselves up on the rotation. The next time we saw the P2 to P3, it's the same thing. Seattle had control of the hill, but they're still, with control of the hill, out-rotating New York to the next hill, causing problems nonstop, always a thorn in their side. And they just had control of the game. Basically, from step one, New York was always playing off the back
Oh my
foot.
God,
and
bro.
were never able
They
to
didn't
take
go
shots.
into overtime.
It was so hard to
one
even make
dude
those breaks and find
Wait,
any
hold
sort
on.
of concerted time. I've been listening as well.
Wait, there's
for
another
yourself, just hearing,
round?
the attitude from Clay and Krim, the older guys on the team, the true vets. Are they going to help bring their team to victory?
It's
100%
14 to
of the
15
way.
right
When you're
now.
hearing things
And this
like,
team has
"Guys,
to
calm
go
down,
and win
Hydra,
this
Neptune,
round to go into
calm down,
overtime."
Please rotate. It's almost like going back to the fundamentals, like going back to how we play the game. Everything we've talked about in scrims, trying to execute that now in game can prove to be harder than it looks, and especially when you are down and you are being heavily outslayed by this incredibly aggressive Seattle Surge roster. I mean, practice, it kind of felt like it went out the window, and NYSL, there was times, man, where that was not pretty.
And taking the things that are not pretty, if you're a New York fan, looking down the barrel of this series, again, the Gavutu control, Seattle has not dropped a single round. They have figured out offense as well. They have a team KD of 1.46 on the map. They've been completely absurd. So in my mind, Bocage S&D, that is not a fun map where it feels like a must-win, but in my mind for New York, it is absolutely a must-win to bounce back in game number 2.
We're almost ready to get into the search and destroy, but first and foremost, man, we didn't talk about it to begin with. We got to do the game fuel keys to victory for Seattle. I mean, obviously, keep up the slaying. A 1.05 team KD during Kickoff Classic, no problem, baby. Chance they walk away with the first win, but hey, now we start to work on other things. Talking about control, talking about those breaks. Tell me about the keys.
Well, I mean, one interesting thing there is, they had the worst break percentage in the league from the Kickoff Classic. Well, what happened that game? It starts with a P5. They get the break, and then they just run away with the game. So maybe it's Seattle, actually, that in the downtime has been making more progress, which for the rest of the league potentially could be a scary sight. But again, even for that map 3, the control, they've been dominant. Haven't lost a single round on Gavutu. I will say it every time because it's an impressive stat.
Very, very impressive stat indeed. But there we go. Game fuel keys to victory for Seattle. Will they be able to execute? And what a squad it's been, man. They have been winning hearts and minds ever since Kickoff Classic. There was a lot of excitement coming in, of course, with this very diverse, exciting team. Again, Pred coming in from Australia, man. He's made the long journey, friends, and he's looking fine so far. Mac from the NYSL last season, again, mixed up and down performances. And of course, the Iceman. Accuracy. Who could forget the Optic lineup? I mean, he had a great run. Sib has done everything he expected him to do coming into this one. So there you go. Seattle Surge, an exciting squad to be keeping an eye on here in the 2022 season. R&D match metrics chance coming in this one. This is Kickoff Classic alone. Again, small sample size, but hey, 90% plant rate in their games. Surge, no problem getting the bomb down.
Now, one of the biggest things about that stat, though, is Seattle has played a lot of Tuscan, and Tuscan is a map where you can get the bomb planted on A almost on command, so it's definitely more of a map-specific thing, and I think what we've learned from Bocage Search so far, very 50-50. Like offense, defense, it almost doesn't make a difference. A lot of rounds do play out sort of like TDM, but one interesting thing to note is this is the first time we have seen Bocage, and this is like for anyone in the competitive scene, played with Silent Plant and Silent Diffuse. This has very much been a map, especially around that A site. You're just playing for the audio cue of when they're planning, when they're diffusing. You can sit almost anywhere in Grandma's and hear both sites. Like, now that we don't have that, the map is going to play radically different. And it should be the first time either of these teams have even played with that setting. So always a fun time in the CDL. You got to make those constant adjustments.
This is going to be really interesting. I mean, Chucks, you breaking that down, let us know. I was aggressively chef's kissing off camera there. Let's find out how Bocage Search and Destroy plays out now. And it is an aggressive opener. NYSL, bomb in hand, forward they go. Clay's got eyes on players. Mac's going to be the player inside bottom. Hey, Nep's backing up Clay. As we're hoping to find that opening kill. Again, Bocage, fast and furious indeed. Trade central. It's tense, Krim. There's that first blood. Accuracy from top Grandmas, cooking up something special. 1 minute to go.
And it sort of looks like New York are potentially setting up for rotation over towards B, but this is still a ton of map control, right? Obviously, accuracy in the power position. But number 1, Sib is there as well, ready for the fight. Able to even up the odds at a 3 versus 3, and Sib, he's going to have another one Riverside. He's looking for Krim, and he finds him, takes him down, one legend after the other. And it's Neptune for the 1v3. He's been putting in the work, grinding out Search and Destroy, but just gets caught instantly. Seattle get the round win off the back of Sid, the kid showing up and dropping the legends. to win and clutch that 3v4.
Man, he's locked in as well. Like that was one hell of a snap. We saw Capsidal snapping his way, through that last series. That was something special. But Sibs bringing the same kind of energy here, and a nice round again out of Seattle Surge. Neptune unfortunately caught in the end there. The potential was there for that 1v3, but still slows everything down. And Bocage, no one's got a bomb down yet. So those kills go through, and very, very different look this time. Seattle bomb going forward towards A. The lone player Sib cut to ribbons, and here comes potentially a very fast bomb.
That's a great angle from Clay, by the way, for the first blood. Like, that's almost one I want to go back and rewatch if possible. But hey, bomb planted. It's a 3v4, but there's still potential, and there's the pick that they need. Accuracy, even things up at a 3 versus 3. And while he gets taken down, it's Mac near the site, and Pred trying to make a play.
Neptune eyes on the back. Pred, number 4 on the minimap now, making his way through Grandma's, and here we go. Dead silence popped. He's going to be moving quietly. Will they manage to find it? No, Pred does get in. There's one. Back over to versus Neptune now on the bomb. Slides in, cut down once again, all on a Pred. 15 seconds. Already Neptune's on the bomb. Makes a tap, gets the kill. They've got the time. Great play from Neptune. Heads up moment there. He was defusing for a second, leaps off, finds the kill. Crim's there just in case. But if Nep loses that fight chance, that round's done. Seattle go up again.
I mean, it definitely could have been spicy, but just a very solid round of picks coming through from New York Subliners, right? Clay has the great angle for the first blood. Pred, after he finds the kill, he gets traded eventually. And even Mac, once he's a little bit trigger happy on the guy on site. The coordination was there from the Subliner. So solid round, back-to-back defensive rounds, it looks like, for a map that normally plays 50-50.
Things are changing all the time, brother. All the time. Here we go.
You never know.
Yeah, you really do never know, especially with this league. Here we go. Clay playing quite aggressive this time round. Bombing towards A, the Subliners. Clay's about to run into the whole squad, and he does. Puts him down fast at that range with the MP40. Not a whole lot he could have done. With that opening pick, Seattle can basically do whatever they want now on defense. They're playing this slow, waiting for NYSL to make the move, and it's not going to be easy, Chance.
Seattle might be geniuses, by the way. I think they just had every player hide behind the wall, wait for the stuns to hit, and then they double pushed it out. So that's some big brain stuff. I think that might have been what they were going for, and that is translated into a 4 versus 2. Seattle just in the driver's seat, in full control. Nobody overcommitting. Pred was loud, though. He did slide. Neptune looking for the kill, and he finds it. Ooh. But even then, the trades are still there.
A good trade, still. That was Hydra. Oh, there's a lot of guns. Look at his way! Ooh, Mac crushes him! And a calm pop-off from the rest of the team. But man, that was an opportunity for a few there. Doesn't quite go his way. It looks so easy for Mac's POV as well. That automaton. Ooh. Ooh.
Look, Miles, I'm not even kidding. I think that might have been just like a 200 IQ play right off the opening break. Like, if you're watching on YouTube, rewind to check my work to make sure I didn't miss it. But it really did look like every player from Seattle hiding behind the wall in the back tank. As soon as the stuns land, they made the move. So Clay stun checks it, gets nothing, and all of a sudden 2 people in his face. I bet he was confused.
Back at it again over towards A. See you, Mac. An express delivery there from Crim 6 lands delivered. Playing slow through their fences. Destructible cover helps quite a lot here in Vanguard. 1 or 2 bullets gives you a very, very decent opening to make a cheeky play. Now the slow and steady assault towards the bomb site. Hydra. Great defensive work, 4v2.
They're playing patient. Neptune clearing out the bomb. Bang. Someone outer gets caught. The teamwork is there as well. Crim 6 had help with the gunfight. All of a sudden, Pred gets 1, but finds himself in a 1 versus 4. I don't think we've had a 1v4 this year. Admittedly, not a ton of maps played, but Pred giving it the old Aussie try.
He is. He's going for it. He's going to be spotted here, surely. Oh, maybe not. He might.
Oh, definitely not. No. They're giving up the plant for free, for sure.
Well, they're holding A pretty tight. And Pred, he's got 20+ seconds now to work with. They could see something here. Forward Pred goes. It was almost there. It is all for naught. Clay up that back tank. Good spot. NYSL secure it. And surely, mate, it was a technical 1v4. No way does NYSL let a round like that go.
I just noticed you
I mean, the only way that'd be
smart
possible is if
in
like
the
someone
first
overcommits or
half
get
instead
caught
of full
out, but they had a very tight setup. They stuck to it again. They would have been very
did you do
happy to
first
get the
half
bomb
instead
plan
of
up
just
over
doing the
towards
12
B
and a
because,
half for
I mean, what, Clay could lock down the back instantly. Someone's there to check the tunnel, and then as soon as you know he's not coming through one of those, like you could just cut the map off so quickly. But again, for New York, their success has just been finding the picks. And Seattle mixing things up on defense. Last time they sort of tripled up over towards outer A. This time a little bit more pressure towards the river, and I think Sid's in an interesting spot.
So I'm assuming Seattle won first half.
But Krim, he finds it for the
Yeah,
first
and it's
or
2-2 right
Sid
now
takes it to him.
Lord.
Sid is so
2-2 right now in fucking
Fred's about to find out how easy it is to kill someone in this room. Tags up with a nade.
Seattle's got
On
the
from
bomb
Neptune.
right now. They're planning, and
Numbers
they're up
starting to dwindle on the
3-2
outside.
player
Clay's finding
count.
those kills. Now Net looking to keep the back safe, but once again, it's a pinch now. As Pred's now making his way forward. Backside cleaned up. Clay finds a few more kills, and it's another 1v4.
No, they got control in there.
Or Pred. Clay finds his third of the round. Holy
Yeah, it's hard point
city,
search,
brother.
control, hard point search.
Okay, Pred just erased Clay so fast. Wow.
I mean, you know,
Good round.
40 up close. It'd be like that sometimes. I will say, though, I think New York has done a very good job of just coordinating, like, stuns and nades, right? Even though Krim doesn't get the first blood, they somehow were able to sniff out that Sid was playing in that corner, I assume, based off stuns. And even though Krim dies, a nade lands right at his feet. I think every single round, New York has been very calculated with the utility that they have. And it's at least been a portion of the reason of their success. Really, Clay getting 2 last round didn't hurt.
Accuracy, oh my word, they almost lined up for him. Here comes the stuns and nades. As the tacticals blotted out the sun there, accuracy bails, runs on out. Quick plant there from Seattle. Here comes a fast counter-attack, and NYSL are wasting no time. Here they come. Through the back, they're stacked up over by the tanks. Any kills? No. Sib, Hydra finds 1. Fast trades in and about. Maybe. Jump on that bomb, it's not gonna make any noise. Trim with the coverage. Hydra through front. Oh my goodness, it's getting ugly. Krim finds a team kill in there. 1v1. Accuracy versus Krim, 20 seconds. Krim's got to hunt him down. You've got to go, man. You have to find the kill. 1v1 in mid-map. Accuracy's burning time. Oh, he's playing with him. Can Krim make it? Is it enough time? Krim, is it? Half a second. Half a second is all he needed. And he would have been able to get the defuse. Oh my. Accuracy, veteran plays. Half a second purchase there, seals the round.
Yo, what a good try from Krim, though. Good God. Sprinting at him. Just no fear, no F's given at all from Krim 6. I mean, wide out in the open, taking the gunfight on accuracy. And obviously, the only play he had was to go and hunt him down. And honestly, just at the end, nice finesse from accuracy just to find that extra little bit of time.
I will hang up this phone.
Krim might be the fastest player in the game.
Porterhouse, very nimble. Nice angle from accuracy.
Oh, my leg.
Backed up by Krim. I mean, that was a great round to watch. Spicy one here on Bocage, 3-3. Sib's playing this like very small line of sight to work with there, just to make sure he sees the cross, and definitely saw Clay's little red diamond. Here we go. The play towards A, slowly but surely. Opening kill from Sib.
You just catch him as soon as he's throwing the nade. All of a sudden, 2 versus 4. Clayster's on the back tank, and Hydra now going to be working with them. The timing, though, not great. And now it's Clayster in a 1 versus 4. There's the first. 3 more to go. The second almost gets handed to him. Yo, Pred lives for those gunfights against Clayster. 2 HP in a dream. That's all Pred cares about. And that was almost tied. That was almost costly. That could have been a different round.
Yeah, that was a 4 HP. Wow. They're making a good effort over there. And I don't want to say it, but it just feels like Hydra's getting averaged. He's getting wiped out in really awkward situations almost every round. Whereas Neptune getting caught cooking nades. We've seen that happen a few times now. Hydra's getting just caught running into things. Like, it's happening a lot. And that seems to be costing them. He's having a tough one at the moment, a 2 and 4, but we'll see if the young Phenom can pull things around. Another round, here we go, mate. A-bomb site should be the target here for Seattle, but we'll see how the defenders work it.
Hydra's actually in a pretty good spot. He's able to get a bit of map control, and he should be able to actually spot those players going into A. The problem for Hydra, number 2 could eventually flake him, but the information's there. Neptune looking for a stun kill, or a nade kill, excuse me. Can't find it, and the bomb goes down.
goes down, slides through. Max there on the defense. Good shots. Once again, gets 2. Unbelievable work out of Mackenzie, the melter himself. Here comes another one. Pred wins it again. Fraser there. Crim, 1v3. Takes down accuracy. Here comes the fast trader from Seattle. They do not let those kills get away. Seattle with another great round. Mac with a ridiculous 2-piece on bomb.
And I think he might have gotten the ace as well. I'm not sure if he picks up the final kill. He does. That is 4 in a row for Mac Melts. By the way, after the kickoff classic, I don't know if I said it earlier, but he had the 3rd highest overall kills per round. So he was popping off in S&D, had like a 1.3 KD in the game mode. And even the cheeky little spot popping up on top of the bomb post plant and ready for the gunfights. Nice little nerd spot to put Seattle up 5-3.
Love a nerd spot. A hit fast though. Mac feeling himself, maybe a little too much, flies forward. Accuracy's got pick of the litter there. He saw many names. Will he be able to take Neptune with him? 9 HP now, tagged up heavily. Hydra, finish the job, end him. He's upstairs, you know he is. Downstairs on the bomb site, Neptune wins 1. Hydra, will he be able to help out now as the fast rotation comes through, but he's just been juked by accuracy. He's slipped on through. He's on the bomb now. The sneaky accuracy. Any more to be had? No. Oh my God. How did he get away with it that long?
I respect the effort. What? He was going for just the ultimate ninja defuse. I'm sure he was staring at that player's back for quite some time. But
I have no idea what the
whoever it was turned just enough. But that's a good try. You know, not too shabby as far as 1v4s go.
You can text me about the thing.
Seattle, I think they had won 4 rounds in a row, if I remember correctly. New York finally able to kill that momentum, but maybe some nerves setting in for the team. Because again, back against the wall, this is a must-win map for them. Gavutu is not the place where you want to go against Seattle if you're down 2-0.
No, not at all. And I will say that hangnails have been the bane of many Call of Duty pros this season already, including his teammate Neptune. So I'd watch out for that one. But a nice opening blood from Crim. Takes care of Mac. That point for Seattle still. This is a nice opening here from NYSL. Can they find any more here? Sid with the bomb recovery. Clayster's ears are ringing. Cut down there by Pred once again. The Australian assassin strikes once more. Back at it we go. Chance 3v3.
Oh, Crim gets caught as well. You got accuracy making plays. And Hydra, he's in the middle of all this action. And that bomb not committing to either site. Couple players spot each other. But again, accuracy's been back here for so long. New York, there's not a chance they have any idea. Hydra, though, able to make this a 2 versus 2.
This is what you expect. It's the newcomers on the team, Neptune and Hydra. I mean, are they listening to their dad's comms? Versus Sib and accuracy. Here comes the shots. A fast diffuse. He's straight on top of it. Neptune, this could be the play. They say Halo kids don't diffuse. And this one with Hydra covering him. And there you go. Hops the bomb, sneaky play. I love it. Out of the subliners. Round 11. Here we go.
Plays like that win games. What a call to make that happen. And again, it was the good intel. They figured out accuracy was in the back. And as soon as they cleared out that site, you know no one's going to be able to get up top and jump over. So Hydra's got the cover. And the Halo kids do defuse. Round 11, we go. Great plays from both of these teams. You got Seattle on the attack.
Here we go. Fast hit towards A. Tried and true. The island player accuracy makes his way across map. He's going to be flying solo. No, backs on up to help out. Exchange of lethals. Exchange of tacticals. Not everyone's pockets are empty, though. Here come the throws. Crim trying to find anything here. Nades.
It's 5-5 right now, round 11.
On the backside of that tank, but lives to fight another day. Chance, we're still all good. 4v4.
New York have adjusted their setup as well, right? Hydra consistently was playing in towards HUD. Now he's playing tighter on the cross. They know that that bomb is going down. Number 6 might make a move. Neptune trying to get the guy off bomb.
3v2, 2v2.
Couple trades come through. It's a 2 versus 2.
2v1. Clay's last alive.
So
A-bomb is planted for Seattle.
The bomb is down. The 1v2.
Clay's all the way on the opposite side of the map. 30 seconds left.
Slowly.
He's going in behind them. They have no idea that he's behind them. Clay just got simp. It's Pred and Clay. And Pred just fucking gunned him.
He gets it again! Once again, Pred winning those fights. And the faces of NYSL, it tells it all. It tells it all. And Pred's got just the quietest little smirk on his face, absolutely feeling himself after that one. And Clay making a great effort there, but oh gosh, Chance. A nice round 11 indeed, but wildly frustrating there for NYSL.
I mean, yeah, Placer, he was on the front end of a predator right there. That was at least 3 gunfights where it felt like he was getting first shot and just getting incinerated by the MP40. But on top of that, it really did feel like a bit of a slow game from Neptune and Hydra, especially the SMG duo, like inside around that ace site, never quite able to get that advantage. And even looking at the kills, yeah, 4 and 7 from Hydra. Neptune, overall a solid performance, but the double digits from Krim was not enough.
Yeah, Pred as well. 11 and 8 from him. Beautiful stuff. I mean, like, half those kills were all just Clay, man. He just, every time, he was always there winning those fights against him. Perfect stuff. Here come the highlights. And again, an interesting tail chance. I mean, a wonderful comeback and beautiful stuff. If Krim, I'm thinking back to that round where we saw Krim almost manage to get that defuse kill. I think it might be this point. No, it's way after this, actually. He does actually go for a really unfortunate moment where he team kills Hydra. Hydra flies in front of his gun, and while Krim's picking up kills, he takes care of Hydra as well. If he doesn't kill Hydra, at that point in time, I feel like you honestly, in that 2v1 spot, you take care of accuracy much faster, and you might have that round. This would have been 1-1 in the series then.
I mean, look, a lot of nail-biting moments, right? Even the call from New York just to go for like the defuse in the round 10. A lot of it came down to the wire, but I think even one stat that stood out to me, it looked like at the end, Neptune might have been 8 and 8, but only 3 non-traded kills. So it's not like his impact was really felt. He was getting traded out consistently. And how about this one, by the way, from Matt, where he gets the ace just to run it up a little bit? I mean, I think New York maybe had that one round in round 10 where they made the bigger play. But outside of that, I think Seattle had the other 3. So Seattle truly just putting in the work.
Yeah, really good stuff out of them again. And we'll take it all the way to that round 11. And this was that ninja defuse. Hydra with the body block just in case, but there Neptune, sneaky, sneaky plays. Wonderful stuff to get that round 11. And here we go, the final gunfight from Clay. Full HP. Does reposition that aim. He sent us fast on the guy at the top stairs, but just too strong, too fast, time and time again. Wins his ones. Australia's finest comes to play once again, and Chance Gavutu control for map number 3. You know, Tim did say he was feeling New York. That's all I'm saying. Well, I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, Jesus, dude.
There are rumors about whether or not the curse exists. I think for the NFL, it absolutely does, but maybe it's been broken from Call of Duty. Whatever the case may be, New York won the very first map they played against Seattle. Haven't won a single map since. That is now 5 in a row for Surge against this squad. And again, going into Gavutu, where Seattle has not lost a single round. Apparently, they've gotten better since the kickoff.
Well, we'll find out, though, again, how much practice has New York managed to put in. We're going to throw to a very quick commercial break. When we come back, Gavutu control, map 3. You don't want to miss it.
What did Craig get? I think he got 7. No, he got 8. And he got 47. I literally just needed to get 15 in his control and good to go. And then Clay, he was at 18 and I think he got 7. Let me double check. So I do the math right. Just do the math. Oh. Bro, what?
Absolutely. Boston Breach, they come out, they...
Oh my goodness, it's getting ugly. Krim Faces of NYSL, it tells it all. It tells it all. Key sneaky plays, wonderful stuff to get that round 11, and here we go, the final gunfight from Clay. Full HP, does reposition that aim. He sent us fast on the guy at the top stairs, but Pred just too strong, too fast, time and time again. Wins his ones. Australia's finest comes to play once again, and Chance Gavutu control for map number 3. You know, just Clay, man, he just every time, he was always there winning those fights against him. Perfect stuff. Here come the highlights, and again, an interesting tail Chance. I mean,
from Hydra, Neptune.
Sib got 9, okay. Clay got 9, okay. So Clay got 9, he was at 18, so he can't get
27.
So he has to get 31. Sid got 9, he went 9 and 7, and he got 39, so he's at 48. So he could literally, as long as he drops, what is it? 14. So he can drop 14, Clay has to drop under 31, and get on that.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Game Fuel. Victory in a can. The Call of Duty League is brought to you by TeamSpeak, the official broadcast communication partner of the Call of Duty League.
When you compete as long as I have, you learn a thing or two. You learn success isn't something you're given, it's something earned. Visit zenny.com/CDL to get a pair of Rocker Zennies or any of your other favorite CDL teams today.
2-0 in the series so far for Seattle Surge coming out to the New York Subliners, and this man is one of the great reasons why Chance. I mean, look at those stats from Sib so far. He is having probably way too much fun against these opponents.
And from what I can gather for the non-traded kills, by the way, obviously the more maps we get, the more accurate to be, but like low 70s seems to be about the norm. High 70s means you are doing fantastic. And obviously with the 1.66 KD to back it up, Sid is having himself a great time. And great news for him, we're going into Gavutu where him and Pred have been running the show. So he's had the hot hand. I do not expect him to slow down.
Here we go. This could be the final map in the series if you are in fact betting, folks, because let's face it, Seattle Surge are very, very good at control. This is some maps, and the map and mode that they've had so much success on. No one's really been able to take a round yet. This is going to be a huge one for NYSL to climb out of. A very, very tough spot to climb out of. Can they do it? Of course they can. Because quite frankly, I want another 3-0. Anyway, let's find out. Because here we go in a Gavutu.
And again, on a map like this, opening bricks can really decide the show. It's almost like a situation on offense. If you get team wiped once, you're going to be stuck in your spawn the rest of the round. So, got to win these opening kills. Sib cannot deliver. Hydra is there, but at least enough trades come through. And Crim6, unfortunately, I think he got the wrong end of the barrel. That means the map now is wide open for Seattle, and Pred already in their spawn.
Oh no, Pred's already on a 4. That's going to be the A-Zone's second segment taken care of. I'll tell you what,
so clean.
It's so clean, man. It's so clean. Oh no, oh no, Pred's ripping him. Thank God Clay's got some magical bullets. I don't know where he came from, maybe down low, but that's going to be the end of that spree. But man alive, a disgusting open here from Pred. That's going to be the A-Zone taken care of as well.
We only need
2 minutes 16 now
him.
to play with. That's a lot of time.
Once Clay stays under 31, then we are
26 to
good
21 of the New York
go.
Subliners. Seattle, back at home here in Gavutu.
I mean, look, I know it's very early days, but I still think that might be the fastest A capture we've seen on the map this year. So Seattle, again, it looks like they have improved even since the kickoff. That being said, though, they are, for the most part, kind of stuck in their spawn. The boat is as far as they're able to get pushed up on the map, and Mac is now the most aggressive member of his team. New York, they just have a stranglehold basically across the middle of the map.
And you see that kill there on Krim. He was top left-hand side of the minimap. Play immediately repositions to take on the flood now of players from Seattle making their way forward. It's been slow. Kills are good now. And YSL holding it down still. The defense stays. Net, Hydra, Clay, all in the feed. Sib's up next. How many more can he find? If anything, nothing. 5 now in a row for Clayster. As New York Subliners defense, they've certainly done their homework.
This is wonderful as well. I mean, more pressure on the guy, number 8 on the minimap, Krim, just to stay alive. But it is as long as you are in control of these spots, you're going to have a great time. And the fact that New York was able to bounce back like they have, very impressive. But obviously, still a minute on the clock. Clayster, that is 6 in a row for him. Able to get 1 kill streak. Now looking for the glide. Just needs a single more kill. And honestly, in a spot like this, it's almost impossible to not get that next kill.
Try to play the off angle. Krim's on the other flank though. So when you have to deal with Clay, you got to deal with Krim. Slowly but surely they get it done. This kill is for the glide bomb now. 10 lives for Surge remaining, and they're going to play it slowly. There comes the stuns out. There's the glide. Fred gets it right in the teeth. That's 7 in a row now for Clayster. Yep, he's going to push it out there for the last one, but 7 lives remaining. Beautiful stuff out of the New York Subliners chance. You say goodbye to A, you say howdy doody to the kill feed. Still time to get on there and maybe get a test, but this has been a beautiful round out of the Subliners.
And just nice response as well, just to make sure you're cleaning up all the kills towards the end. I mean, that is best case scenario for the way this round started for New York to respond like that, especially so in dominant fashion. Right now, an 8-life lead, give or take, by the end of this round. So that is about as good as it gets. It is exactly what you want to have on the defensive end. And also highlights for the fact that Seattle, even if the opening break is that good, again, you get 4-man white a single time, you're going to be stuck in your spawn for the next minute and a half. It is not easy to get that break. Krim getting a little bit hype as well. Trying to get New York back in this. The first round loss, by the way, Seattle has had.
Even when they're winning, Clay always seems angry. He always seems like he's got something to say, and that's important in a leader. That's about
intense.
Krim,
let's go with intense.
He's very intense. Even when he's not being intense, he's still quite intense. Go, Clay. One of the old guard here in the Call of Duty League, still keeping things going, and back at it we go. Another defensive round now. We see Seattle, what they can do. How will the offensive hit go for the New York Subliners? So far, they managed to get a couple of bodies on A. The kills are working out for Seattle. Fred, slow and steady, wins the race.
Yeah, boy. Accuracy potentially causing problems, trying to be that cutoff man. Krim is actually nasty at this game. It's not a surprise when he's the greatest Call of Duty player of all this time, but every single map he was delivering in first was on Bocage. Now he's trying to open up things for the squad. Yes, he gets taken down there, but still Neptune up top of the boat. But I think Neptune's going to get caught. Yeah, Pred just has the advantage in that matchup, it feels like. And New York are struggling just to get to this boat.
Yeah, it's really hard to just make the approach. We've got that little sort of archway covered, that little rock path. Boat's all good for now. Pred. Oh, no! Pred, it was going so well. Is this the, it's not the slow and steady collapse of the mental from Seattle, because that seemed to what killed, that was ultimately what defeated them when it came to, you know, playing Toronto in the finals at kickoff. You got to keep an eye on that clock, though. Less than 30 seconds to go. Seattle still holding it down. NYSL, though, they're getting closer and closer, and they're picking up kill after kill. And that's it. Boat's clean. They've now got the numbers. They're now on the point. The Tomaton's ringing out. Here comes Sib. Trades it good. You've still got 1 player left up for NYSL on point. Krim trying to lock it down alone. He's brought down. Hydra, though, straight back on the point. Reinforcements are here. Keep the play alive, NYSL. The clock's still ticking.
I mean, look, if nothing else, they're only down on 2 lives. Now make it 4,
Plays at
so that's
16,
a little bit
I need
worse,
30.
like,
I need him to not pass 31, and he's at
Just finding
16.
1 kill for the end of this round will put them in a decent spot. And a Clayster able to get it. I think they were down by roughly 8 or 9 going into this round. So not the worst loss you could have on offense, right? That is the nature of Gavutu, or just the nature of control of this game. We don't care about the objective, apparently. We just care about the kills to decide that round 5. So right now, Subliners just with that slight edge.
Only slight. Of course, towards the end of Cold War, capturing the objectives, capturing those segments did contribute to who gets defense in the final round. Now it's just kills. If that changes throughout the year, lots changing already. 14-11 for Pred. Trying to find a few more there on the A zone. Sib, though, he and Mac now leading the charge in on towards B. Seattle attacking their way forward. Neptune, big kill. Fast trades once again, and they've got on B chance.
I and they've just now figured out that the V push is actually coming through. This is just Seattle right now holding P1. They have all the crosses for accuracy, and if you're not coordinating the nades to get them off, it is not fun to try to make this cross. There's an example why, but you see eventually accuracy does fall. FMJ might have had an effect in that situation, and Seattle still, they are putting the pressure over towards this B point, and they are not having a good time.
Take those kills any day of the week. Hydra the cutoff finds one. And this is where Hydra thrives. Did he find any more? NYSL have gone super aggressive here, trying to pin him in towards the beach side, and Hydra, if you can find a few more kills here, help your boys out. He's been dropped. Act's all falling to pieces. Last up, Crim. Oh no, here comes Seattle. Kills go their way. Even Stevens at 23 lives each, and they're already capturing A and B at the same time now.
I was going to say, it's a two-front war. You got Mac over to the B point, and Mac can watch the cross while he's actually capturing the hill.
Oh my God.
Right now, New York, they might end up in the blender. You go one direction, you got to worry about Mac. You go the other, you got to worry about the ship. And it looks like Mac still racking his time. They have a tick of progress over towards B. Neptune, though, wins a massive one. As meanwhile, over towards A, you still have Sim up top looking for the trades. Able to connect with at least one, but New York, they have dealt with the pressure. Only 35 seconds left in this round.
And they do a great job of not only dealing with the pressure, but keeping the life count as close as possible, despite the setup that Seattle had there. Progress now A, second segment gone. Trying to make something happen towards B, maybe on the next set of lives, but you have to contend with Hydra in your spawn. Hydra is still there, being annoying. Can his teammates win the battle over towards A? Less than 30 seconds on the clock to play with. A segment, though, all they have to do is close out half of it, and they get an additional minute. This is huge. Seattle playing this slow, playing this smart. Here comes the capture. Clay, oh my word, almost wins a big one. There's 15 seconds to work with here now. We need some reinforcements. If Sib dies, he's playing for kills. If he drops off here, it's all done. Nep on the stairwell with a pistol. 10.3 in the clock. They cap it. No, they don't. Yes, they drain it. NYSL. Oh my God, Charles right at the absolute millisecond away. They've just sealed the round. The kills from Nep and Crim. Holy dooly. What a save that was on the goal line.
And that honestly might be like the kill of the game potentially that Neptune gets on like this self-created best English in the game. Crawling up the ladder with the pistol. If Sib gets that, you get streaks. And again, glide bombs actually do kill people now. They could be massive on this map. And it's not just the fact that they stopped them from getting the point. It was like 4 or 5 kills in a row from New towards the end. Again, running up the kills column. So I think they're going to be about plus 11 or plus 12. So Seattle, they need a dominant round on defense. Or they're going to be saddled with offense in the next round. Assuming they can even win. Fred, he's going to fall to some nades and take out the barrel. Nice little opening for New York.
Oh, great opening from New York. They have overwhelmed the Seattle defense entirely. Completely flooded through. Kills going their way now, but you do have ship control in the form of Neptune for now. Well, it was short-lived. It was very short-lived indeed. Accuracy's watch 2 on the cross. Pred should be able to pick these guys up. This could get hideous real fast. Uh-oh. Seattle now tightening the noose around the subliners, and they've got plenty of air left in those lungs, but accuracy, 1 kill at a time. He is slowly but surely putting New York to task. Oh my word, it's non-stop, man. The kills keep going. Chance, can they stop accuracy? Can you find just one way out of spawn? One little moment to get yourselves back on a Gavutu. It's a big island, beautiful place. Get out there, try and see the sights. No chance.
I mean, look, New York has joined the Turtle Club, right? Their only goal right now is to not get massively outslayed. They walked into this round with like a 12-life lead, and now it's already down to what, maybe 4 at best. Seattle, they have turned it on. This is the round they needed.
This is the one. 15 on the clock. Pred, this might be the final dagger as he flies in. Keep him there. 10 more seconds. I
think we're tied on kills, by the way. I think we're tied.
They're trying to not let anything go here. Oh, there it is. Nep gets dropped. Accuracy's trying to find the angle for one more here. Crim's got the backline covered. It is for kills. Trying to find defense. We will find out who gets
Clay didn't get a single kill that final round. Literally didn't get a single kill that round.
Look, okay, so here's a problem. The kills are going to be weird just because of like the deaths to the barrels. Like Pred had one at the start of the round. Yes. I think Crim had one before. But I think if I did the math right, and again, I might get screwed up because of the barrels, I think Seattle literally just got it by a kill.
We'll find out.
Oh my God,
decide who gets it here. No one quite able to win out those offensive rounds, but defense reigns supreme here on Gavutu control. And it's Seattle.
You gotta be kidding me, dude.
They've got it. We'll see if
long as Clay does not get 8 kills,
to the same tricks that just hit them.
He cannot get 8 kills.
Surely not. As this is there now for their life. in the series, NYSL, you got to go big, and you got to do it now.
I mean, I feel like I'm just looking at the collapse right now. You're at accuracy back in his home. Just a cutoff man. The boat control. Fred is there. You're getting spawn trapped once again.
Oh, no.
God damn it. He got one with
This
his
is where
street
Seattle
fuck.
live. This is how they run Gavutu. Even got Mac now on a 5. Looking for the 6. Honestly, the stun might be enough.
Back.
But even still, New York, I mean, that is just a collapse and a half.
No, he got another. Wait, no, wait.
It's not over yet. Plays
He can
glide bomb,
still get
buys him a little
6.
bit of space just to get to that cliff front. Just to get to that defilade covers. They can actually take a fight or two, and Hydra's doing it as well. Hydra, time to spring to life, son. Your team needs you. 30 seconds on the clock. 30 seconds, and it's a 3-0. What you got, F New York? Flying on the point. Pred loses it to Neptune. Sib holding down mid-map for a moment, but you finally start to get some progress over towards A, and here come the numbers for NYSL.
And you have to win these gunfights. You have to keep someone on the point as well. Anytime it ticks by, even if you capture this point, you only get the extra minute. You are going to be running out of
Clay got another one. Fuck.
Fred able to pick up 2. Everyone from Seattle that needs to win a gunfight seemingly has been able to deliver.
Clay can't get 5.
Finally,
Please
Hydra
don't let
may
him
be
get
able
5.
to get a little bit of pressure. They
Oh
get
my
accuracy.
God. Why
out
is
of
this
their
such a
spawn, and
sweat?
they have a moment to breathe. They're still down by a life. There's still only 18 seconds on the clock, and now they lose that little bit of map pressure that they had.
Second segment done. Red cooks it. Throws a peach. Sib's there to pick it up as well. Clock's now open again.
Still down by 5. Still down by 5.
It's all on Neptune. Hydra's now trying to provide some coverage. Neptune's still alive inside the boat. He's still there. On the point we go once again. Nep's trying to hold it down. He and Hydra now finding these kills, and this is looking fine. We should see it count.
Yo, Mac,
and
why
there
did
it
Mac
is.
kill
Another minute,
accuracy? Oh
15
my God,
lives
please.
each.
They're trying too hard. Okay. Take it slow.
So,
Don't let.
minute and 5, that is not a
Oh
ton
my
of time
God,
to
bro.
work
Don't
with.
get
You
let Clay
at
get these
best
5.
2 team pushes to make this break
Why am I
happen. The way you
nervous
capture
right now,
B,
bro?
You basically have to get inside their spawn and spawn kill relentlessly. You had number 5, Placer, trying it. He gets caught. You get more trades coming through. Seattle still finding these kills. And again, every single death that New York has, it takes 45 seconds basically to get across the map. And that's all
Clay
the time
got that.
left
He
on the
can't get
clock.
4 more.
Time to work with. Red is about to do something nasty. Oh, I jinxed it, thankfully.
I don't know
The
what
play
Clay's
is still
skills are
alive
at.
now.
I think if I
NYSL.
get 4 more, I'm okay.
Still going forward. Sib's up next. They might have slipped on through. Can Sib find the kills here? Nep, Hydra. Oh my word. Good shots. As Sib still keeping the play safe.
Clay?
Clay's
Clay's in the back. No, he's behind
Silas
them.
manages to make it in from behind. Sib's now going to reposition. Clay living, doing the very best he can. Less than 20 seconds out to play with. Oh, here comes
Oh my
the
God,
strafing
Clay-
run.
Clay
Should
can't
at
get
least
3.
that
If he
player
gets
off the
3, I'm
point.
fucked.
Will Max stay alive? Here it comes, and it misses. Neptune getting closer. There's the contest. And once again, we're going back at it, baby. Sib can't quite take care of the players. They're on point. 9.2 on the clock. We stop it. Pred's on the flank, and here he goes. All the way from Australia. Finds himself a 2-piece, but the play's not quite done yet. We still have to deal with Neptune on point. Can they find the kill? Nep's dancing around, trying to find
Clay
something.
needs 3.
Sib's there for the
Or
kill,
he
and
can
that
get
is
3.
gonna
He
be
can't
it.
get more
Oh
than
my
that.
God. It is over. Seattle
Let's
continue
go,
to prove to be the absolute kings of the
Oh my
God. That is a 3-0 complete.
I mean, hey, they might have lost a couple rounds, but still undefeated on control. And that round 4, I mean, again, rewind on YouTube, do the math, hopefully better than I can. But I think it was about a 12-line lead going in round 4. Seattle needed it to be dominant, and they eviscerated them. I mean, a breakdown of a round for New York. I think they lose out on defense by a single kill, which honestly could have even been influenced just by the barrels exploding. I have no idea.
What helped me was
got
literally
defense
he
on
didn't get
round
one
5.
single
Seattle,
kill
they're
in
not
that
going to let
round
it slip.
4 when they were just
Well,
getting
welcome back,
spawn
guys.
trapped
First of
to
all,
oblivion.
amazing cast. Me and Allie were watching that. We were like, man, these guys are really getting the energy lit in here. But how are they so good at Gavutu? They seem so ahead, Allie.
You know what? It was this one thing I was actually talking to you about it earlier in S&D sense, but it works in control as well, where the A site, I hate that teams just happen to give that up when it comes to control. They're like, oh, it's closer to the other team.
Oh
They'll
my
get that cap way faster than we can defend it. So they kind of give it up about midway of the game. Seattle Surge doesn't do that. They send Mac past boat, and it's just free kills because nobody expects a player to be pushed up that far, because then it's always, oh, well, you left B lane open. Just leave one player there. Once he gets the information, then work on the retake for B side. So the fact that Mac is able to push past boat, which not a lot of players do when it comes to Gavutu control, is that why I think they see a lot of success in it.
Absolutely. Miles, talk to me a little bit about that search and destroy, because it was lit, man. All the way to around 11, and then we saw New York just giving up that A bomb site. What does Seattle do so well?
I mean, Seattle, like, they just don't let any kills get away, like, untraded. Their teamwork's so on point right now. Like, you know, they're playing so fast. I mean, the amount of times we called it, we're like, oh, that guy's got 1 kill. He maybe be hurt. He's going to die in a second's time, you know. I mean, we'll see the stats back that one up as well. The trades, they're so effective, man. The teamwork's on point, and they're all playing at such a high pace as well. I mean, no matter how good you are at the game, no matter how much experience you have, you can't take on 2 dudes at once in this game. It is nearly impossible.
Absolutely. Chance, I think it's safe to say Seattle is the absolute real deal at this point. That's back-to-back consistent showings we saw to them versus this New York squad. And they're coming off a second-place finish. I mean, the guys are nasty.
He got, what was it, third? And I mean, they're making, like, consistent big plays, too. Like, even think about the search and destroy, like, around 11. But Seattle, anytime it was close, I think they had, like, 3 of the clutches out of the 5 total, like, going toe-to-toe against some legends, just outslaying them massively. Like, they improved on the Tuscan hardpoint, even. Like, some of the rotations were phenomenal from Seattle, but I mean, clearly just haven't lost a step at the very least, and you just love seeing the big plays coming out consistently. It is worth pointing out, though, for New York, like, if a couple little things go right, like if the sport or a kill streak from Clay toward the end actually connects on Mac inside the hill, maybe it goes a little bit different, but if you're hoping for all the little things to go right, it's never going to be enough, and a series like that from Seattle, that was just crazy. As clean as you could ask.
That spawn trap literally
talking
was
a little bit about New York, like, it's not all bad, right? Like, we had some great moments out of Crim6. He had a really good series overall. I think at one point you were like, Crim is actually nasty at this game, and it's true, man. The guy was going off. I think the primary focus for them, it's got to be getting Neptune and Clay to become a little bit more consistent. Clay starting off that series a little rough. Started to get into his own in maps 2 and 3, Allie.
Well, speaking about consistency, you know, as we were going into this, the key to victory was for Neptune to kind of really step it up. But when it came to that search and destroy, I thought I saw a shining light in Neptune when it came to the New York subliners, and unfortunately, it was Hydra that kind of slowed down. So again, I'm wondering when it comes to this duo, if they just don't have the pacings on point for each other just yet. But again, Seattle 3-0, they proved that that wasn't just a one-off and kickoff.
Yeah, you know, looking at New York, this team is obviously a long play.
Yeah.
They still have a lot of time. Remember, Clay's coming off of COVID, so maybe.
Well, what's it called? I'm gonna go ahead and head off. I gotta have, like, I need to do an intermission screen here so you guys can see my face, like. But I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. Been a nice night, kind of streaming again on YouTube, and streaming some CDL. So we will be doing this tomorrow. I'm pretty much going to stream with Chief probably until about 12. We'll probably end up playing Warzone or something, and we may even check out some more CSGO, just because I kind of enjoyed watching a little bit of CSGO. It was kind of nice, especially kind of betting on it as well. So we'll kind of be doing that and everything, and then we'll probably, after we get off, the CDL should start around 2, so we'll probably play till like 12, 12:30. Hop off, get some lunch, and then start the stream up for YouTube and do some CDL streaming. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Abraham, it was definitely good talking to you again, man. Ridden, I appreciate you and King both being in here and everything. So hope you guys have a great night.